Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. I hope you're doing wonderful today. Gonna be playing some more Fire Emblem Awakening, Lunatic Plus. We're heading to the mileage tree here. There's a couple things I want to show off on today's stream actually. Number one is how awesome having a trained Sumia is when you get to this chapter. This is like one of the main reasons why I love training Sumia early, because when you have a trained Sumia and Chrom pairing here, they are extremely effective at helping you hunt down these thieves and get in them before they escape. And for the second thing, I'm pretty strongly considering showing off the tree branch strategy, which I've talked about on Discord before. I don't think very many people know about this. It's not on the wiki. I never see anyone else talk about it. To the best of my knowledge, this was about 2 or 3 years ago, so I can't remember if I saw somebody else do it first or if I came up with it myself. I think I found this myself though, but this tree branch over here cannot be reached by any of the enemies on this map except for the Falcon Knights, which means that if you have enough flyers on your team and you send all of your characters over here to the tree branch, you're basically completely safe from all of the ambush spawns, and then you can basically fly back and forth, killing the ambush spawns one at a time for like 100 turns. To beat this map. It's pretty funny. I'm very strongly considering showing it on stream just because, as far as I know, it's not really a known strategy. And if that's the case and there's like no footage of it anywhere, I think this would be a good opportunity for me to show footage of it, especially if nobody else has ever done it before. So what we're going to be doing is focusing our flyers on the left hand side at the start. We got to make sure everyone is at least within range of their partner that we want to pair them up with. The staff users can kind of just be in the middle. We don't really need them for anything. We want Lucina up here. Ideally, we would like for her to be able to reach this thief. I don't think she... Yes, she can. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. She can reach this thief, and she might be able to pull herself back out. Problem is, this guy has got counter. That's okay. We'll deal with that when we get there. This one should be killable on turn 1. This should be killable on turn 2. And then this one, we really want to kill him on turn 1. And then after that, our goal is going to be to start moving everyone over here. To that end, I'm thinking of just deploying Church just so that we have one extra flyer. And I also gave a second seal to Frederick because I'm thinking after he gets Dual Guard Plus, we can actually switch him over to a Wyvern Lord. And then use him as an additional flyer, so we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flyers. If that's the case, who would we bench? I have a strong feeling that Henry would be the best person to bench. Just because our rescue staff users are also going to be helpful with repositioning and mobility. The other option would be Anna, if we think that we're not going to... I'm going to try going without Anna for one attempt. And then if I feel like I need one more staff user, I will send Anna. But otherwise, I think I'd like to use these characters. Okay, so let's see. Let's just give her some placeholder weapons. There's a pretty strong argument for actually promoting her right now. Just to improve her combat. I have a couple of extra Master Seals, and I can buy as many as I need in the future. But I don't know if it's worth the 2,500 gold, when I'm really just going to be using her to fly somebody over a gap. Yeah, let's show off the tree branch strat, and then if I feel like it, maybe I'll replay the map again, depending on how long this takes. Hello, Tricky. Thanks for stopping by today. Hello, Me Mike. Hello, Cell. Thank you for stopping by. Hey, Spin. You just finished eating dinner. You're going to watch this while eating. That's a great idea. Hey, Ryan Lewis. Thanks for the cat emoji. Do I know... did I know that the Hayapao ranks Lisa in second place only behind Frederick? I did not know that. I knew that he also ranked Lisa pretty high. I knew that he had her like in the top 3 or top 5. For me, I think for me Lisa is like number 1 at this point. Depending on what day you ask me, I usually put Lisa like in first place. Do I sound kind of low energy today? I'm always low energy. It's just sometimes I'm capable of pretending that I have energy. I've been depressed for like 20 years straight. You also put Lisa in top 3 as well, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Tricky. I'm thinking of showing off the tree branch strategy just so that I have footage to include it in my guide. Garrett says, good afternoon, Ellery. Good afternoon, everyone. Missed the last couple of streams. You're glad that you're free to catch this one. I hope you enjoy it. It's going to be 100 turns of me fighting enemies on a tree branch. We're doing the Milo tree before the children. Yeah, so that's a good question, Ryan. Thank you for reminding me. I was going to mention that. I did try the child paralogs off stream, and it was hilarious. The results were like awful. It's just no way we're going to be able to recruit them right now. I took a really awesome screenshot of like my entire team surrounded by like bow knights, heroes, warriors, and like all my units had been like it was I think turn 5 or turn 6, and all my characters had been pushed into the corner. We were surrounded by like 20 promoted enemies that were immediately just going to run in and game over the heck out of me. And then I lost the screenshot. I was going to post it, but I lost the screenshot, unfortunately. Yeah, we could maybe do Morgan. The reason I don't want to do Morgan is because I actually want to save Morgan until after I recruit Severa and Cynthia. Then I can use Morgan's prologue to train Severa and Cynthia. So that's going to be our intended path forward. All right, so we're going to go like this. So we're going to be using this guy right here. Number 1, we want to get rid of him anyway. Number 2, we can use him to leapfrog with Gale Force to either go after this thief or this thief. I'm thinking we're going to hit this one just because if you're standing in, like, I think this square right here, you can kill this thief without being in range of anything else. And then on turn 2, we can leapfrog off another enemy to hit this thief, and then have somebody rescue us back to safety. That's kind of the intended plan. When this enemy... Sometimes also, these enemies spawn with speed +2. I was having problems because these enemies were doubling Cordelia, and I was going to use a speed tonic to prevent her from getting doubled, but then I realized that when they roll speed +2, they still double her even with the speed tonic. So I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna leave it up to RNG. I'm just not gonna use the speed tonic, and then I just won't have Cordelia fight the Pegasus. So that's the plan right now. I think I can one-shot him with the Beast Killer. Yes, I can. So we're gonna do that. It doesn't matter that he has counter. It doesn't even matter that we crit. We one-shot him anyway, always. We're gonna send the other Beast Killer back to the comp. In fact, can we afford to lose 9 points of damage against these guys? 43, yes we can. I'm actually going to put the Forged Beast Killer back in the convoy, because I think I one-shot them even with the non-Forged Beast Killer. If that's wrong, then we'll find out in a minute. Yeah, so we're going to have Sumia doing a lot of work on the left-hand side, but this is why she's so great. This is why it's so worth it to train her. So this enemy right here is the only one who can hit these squares, but however, let me check this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, he cannot hit this square, okay. If I'm not mistaken, if this guy doesn't spawn with counter, you can end Sumia's turn here and then enemy phase him. Unfortunately, because he got counter, I can't do that, so I just have to leave him alive for this turn. We're going to use the Javelin from here. Yes, this will always kill even if Crom doesn't dual strike, which is great for us. Okay, now we have a couple of goals. We need Frederick to get Luna. We need Frederick to get Dual Guard Plus. We would really love to promote Noe if we can. And we want to get Lucina to level 10 as soon as possible. I don't think it's going to be possible on this map alone, but it should be possible at some point in the future. 22 speed. I'm wondering if it's possible to get her enough speed to double this guy. He has counter, though. The fact that he has counter means we probably need to use Robin and or just one-shot him. Yeah, if I get a small strength bonus, I can actually one-shot this guy. Do I have a more accurate weapon? Steel sword, yes. I can get +2 strength, I'm pretty sure. Not from her, no. But I can get it from somebody. I can probably maybe even get it from you. Yes, I can. Is that the play? And then just rescue him back? If that's the case, then we probably want Lucina to kill this enemy, or fight this enemy. Parallel Falcon. We'll take 23 damage. We'll hit for 46. There's no way for us to get enough attack to one-shot him. Which means we probably want to chip him down first. If somebody stands here, they can chip this enemy. Let's use Noe for that. I don't know why I put her over here. That's okay, because we don't need Olivia this turn, so what we can do is we can fly Noe over here. Pair these two up. Dance. Hand axe here. In fact, if Longku dual strikes, she just gets the experience, and I'm actually totally fine with that. Yeah, that's okay. If Longku did not dual strike there, we could have just had Lucina come in, get the kill, and then use Gale Force to escape to safety. Okay, so now this thief is actually the only enemy who's really threatening anything, but he'll try to run away. He won't actually attack. However, we would like to possibly weaken him and then have Lucina finish him off. That might be possible. Doesn't seem likely. I don't think we can hit him without killing him. All right, let's just give it to Saria then. Steel Axe, that's fine. If we miss one of these attacks and don't get any dual strikes, we can have Lucina come in to help us bail out, but of course we don't really need to do that. Amazing. Awesome level up. Okay, so now we're gonna pull them back using the rescue staff. Let's get Lucina out of the way. In fact, let's start unpairing characters. Is it better to have Lisa do it? I'm pretty sure it's better to have Lisa do it. Okay. This guy has a tomahawk. I kind of want to put Robin in his range. The other option would be Frederick, but he probably gets doubled, right? 28. No, actually, he does not get doubled. But it might be better to let Frederick fight this guy, who he can actually like get a favorable matchup against. Why did I put my sword away? I had a sword earlier, I put it away. It's a very foolish idea. Yeah, okay, I'm going to do this. This allows me to keep these two units unpaired. I have some ideas. Don't know how I want to execute them. This should work. I can pull this guy over and fight him on enemy phase. And then, is anybody else still paired up that I want unpaired? Answer seems to be no. So I'm just going to leave Church over here. That was incredible level up from Saria. Hey, Legacy, thanks for stopping by today. Kyomo Kawaii. Have I ever successfully beaten Lunatic Plus while drunk? No. I don't actually drink that often. The last time I drank was... Oh my god. Probably 8 years ago. It was a long time ago at a wedding. I usually only drink if I'm at a wedding or if somebody like buys me a drink. I missed the Noe chapter. What was I saying that Noe is good for? Noe is actually not that great. I just like her, so I use her because I like her. Nice dual guard. Ooh, nice dual strike. Awesome. Level up? Not quite. It's gonna take him. He's gonna need a little bit of experience if we want to level him up. That's fine, actually. That kind of softens this guy up. We might be able to get Lucina a kill here. Okay, so we've got a couple of enemies coming at us, but it's actually not as much it's not as much pressure as it seems like. If you really think about it, this is actually a pretty small amount of pressure, especially because the only thing we need to do is just get rid of a couple of thieves and then run over to the tree branch. Most of these enemies at the top don't start moving until turn 6, and then there's actually a group up here that never starts moving until you go into their range. So we've got a lot of wiggle room here. In fact, we don't even need to leapfrog off another enemy. What we can do is we can hit this guy, trigger Gale Force, and then now we can have Sumia fly back to safety and get an attack against the enemy group coming from this side. So this is going to work out really well for us. The problem is we do have 4 promoted enemies that we need to get rid of and 1 unpromoted enemy. This guy is not a huge issue. However, the fact that he has Aegis and Pavis means he's going to be a little bit more difficult to get rid of than it seems like on the surface. This guy has the same configuration. Might be a Lonku moment. I really wish we had lethality. Well, that's another goal I want to set. I want to get lethality. I want to get lethality as soon as possible. Alright, let's start with this. We just double this guy with our Saria pair up. We can go like this. I would love to Killer Axe him. Yes. Oh, by the way, I equipped Arms Thrift. If people, for all the Arms Thrift lovers in chat, I equipped it. I got rid of Veteran because we're actually kind of hitting a level cap that we don't want to hit yet. So the extra experience isn't really a good thing. All right, so we've got a 45% chance to just hit this guy before he has a chance to hit us. Then we have a 71% chance for Saria to dual strike, and I don't know if she gets rid of him if she dual strikes. The answer seems to be no, but that's okay. So basically we have a 45% chance to crit, and then he has significantly less than a 26% chance to hit us. And then after that, we'll just finish him off anyway. We did not get the crit, we did get the dual strike. We dodged. And then we got the crit on the second attack. Okay, that's one down. Very likely we're going to end up dancing for Robin. I'm not going to do it yet until I know for sure. I'm also going to save the uses, the actions of my staff users. Now I'm thinking of jumping out. Let me think about which one of these is more dangerous. Okay, this one has counter, so I think this right here, going with Wilderwind. Is it better to do Elf Thunder for 24 damage, or in fact I can calculate the expected damage, hold on. Okay, this is expected to deal 14 damage per attack. And this is expected to deal a little more than 12 damage per attack. I would honestly say Elf Thunder's probably better here. I will use the Forged Silver Bow. In fact, actually, this might be the time to use the Killing Bow. 20 damage. Yeah, this is a good time to use the Killer Bow, in fact. No, let's save Killing Bow charges. Yeah, let's just go for consistency here. Nice. Got the crit anyway, without needing to rely on Wilderwind. Okay, so we've reduced a massive amount of pressure here. I would love to get Frederick over there and get him some combat. Let's do that next. Two chances to dual strike Luna or crit. Got a lot of damage there. Possibly we can get Lucina over there. What's her damage like with the Parallel Falchion? 32 attack. Minus 17 defense. She will deal 15 damage. She will kill this guy. And then trigger Gale Force. So we're going to do that. Can I kill him with the lance? No, unfortunately. That's okay. Take this guy out, trigger Gale Force. Now we get another Lucina action if we really want her to act again. I'm gonna use the Glass Axe here. Surprised I don't double this guy. I'm actually 1 point short of doubling him. Let's start with this. This is going to make it more likely for Lonku to crit him as well. Can we fight him in melee? Looks pretty safe, actually. I'm going to go for Killing Edge here. Nice. Alright, we have basically 2 actions available, and we have to get rid of 2 enemies. One of them is pretty dangerous. This one right here is going to be very difficult to get rid of. Let me see if Lucina can reliably get rid of this enemy. Not super likely. We might have to rely on Longku dodging this Axe Fighter. Does he have pass? No, he doesn't have pass. There's a pretty good chance that this guy's going to get a chance to attack Longku. Because I don't think we can reliably get rid of him. We just don't have enough actions. I think it probably would have been smarter to have Longku get rid of this guy. And then dance for Robin. And then Robin get rid of this guy. Yeah, that would have been smarter. I was dumb. I was not smart, I was dumb. I can't double him. I can't hit him for enough damage. I would basically just be relying on an Aether proc. Oh, you know what? Robin can't even get over there unless I get rid of the fighter first anyway. So yeah, this whole thing was a misplay. I have an idea. Not sure. What about, can Lucina take out this guy? Because if Lucina can take out this guy, then Robin can take out the fighter. 36 minus 19, oh my god, not even close. Yeah, we're gonna deal 17 damage, and then we're gonna cut that in half as well. Oh, we already calculated that Lucina can't kill him. I'm foolish. Yeah, we already know that this is not possible. Alright, let's just YOLO it and see what happens. I don't know. This feels like the smarter play to me. Yeah. Question is whether Robin can actually take out this guy, which I don't, from 2 range, which I don't think is very likely. Can definitely get him from 1 range. I don't think we can get him from 2 range. At the very least, I can do this. I should probably go for highest damage. Oh, in fact, I got chances. I don't think it's likely, but I've got chances to get him. I think if Lucina hit that attack, we could have gotten him. Alright, I guess it's up to Longku. In fact, I could pull Longku out of there. Then he kills Lisa. Lisa. I don't think he actually kills Lisa though. Let's see what happens. He goes for Saria. She kills him. Okay. I guess I don't think he saw a kill on anybody. I think he just had the highest damage against her. Alright, this is turn 3 right now. There's actually nothing coming for us. We can take as much time as we need to reposition now. Hey Gianna, thanks for stopping by. Legacy says Noe is a wonderful mom. She's the type of mom that you look after instead of the other way around. Yeah, these guys are really tough. These guys are extremely tough. Hey, Anfaresi, what did you miss? I basically explained this tree strategy that I'm just about to show off now, so you actually haven't really missed anything. You just missed me, like, explaining the thing that I'm about to show off, which, I mean, you can just watch me showing it off. Alright, so what we need to do is get as many units as possible over onto this tree branch right now while we have a free turn. Pretty sure I can do something like this. Dance for you. Now I'm gonna pull this pair across. That's gonna save me an entire turn. And because they haven't acted yet, what I can do is I can go like this and put Cordelia over here so she can fly next turn. Okay, the only problem now is that actually nobody can reach Cordelia. So having her unpaired, I mean, it helps a little bit, but it doesn't help as much as you'd imagine. All right, so there's going to be a bunch of reinforcements coming from down here. I can't remember exactly how far they reach. I know they can't reach this branch over here, so we actually might be safe leaving characters over on this branch. I don't feel super confident in that, but it's like I feel slightly confident in that, I would say. Can I get everyone over there in one turn? Problem is I can't really use Olivia to dance this turn because I actually need to pick Olivia up and transfer her this turn. So let me think. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 flyers, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters who need to be picked up. So the answer is no, but I could pull another pair over with the rescue staff, which should work. I'm also going to kill this guy this turn. So yeah, let's do this. Let's go here. Pull this pair over. Go like this. Wait. Okay. What is his speed? Speed's only 25. Am I crazy, or do the other ones have like 30? Yeah, 33 speed. Oh, this one's not promoted. I see. Interesting. I wonder if I could get Frederick to fight him. Tricky part is going to be getting Olivia out of here. Let's just use Sumia for that. I have ideas of what I'm trying to do. I'm just not quite there yet. .21 speed versus 25. We can actually fight this guy with Noe, but I don't think she can get up there. She cannot. Let's fly them up here for now. Oh, we can't reach this tile. We need a flyer for that. Oh, we could do it on this tile. All right, so let's do this. We're gonna do Steel Axe. 29 speed. What does he have again? 25? We don't quite double him. I think that's fine. Go here. All right. Essentially, we've got one flying action available. If that's the case, let's just go ahead and put Cordelia up here with Frederick. And then I'm very scared for Henry's future. Oh boy. Let's just go with this for now and see what happens. Okay, so here comes the reinforcements. Yeah, as I thought, they don't actually reach the tree branch in the bottom right. Okay. So this turn, I believe this is the turn when the Falcon Knights spawn, which means that our characters in the center are actually in a lot of trouble. I don't think we got over to the tree branch quickly enough. The good thing is these guys will actually stop moving if they don't have any valid targets, which is pretty hilarious. The problem is, how do we get Frederick out of their range? I think we have to use another rescue staff, which, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. So I would go like this. Oh, I can't even get Henry over here. So typically when I do the tree branch strategy, I deploy fewer characters, and I'm seeing now how this becomes difficult when you deploy more characters. Alright, let's switch over to Robin. Ideally, the Pegasus Knights that spawn over here are going to run over, and Robin is going to kill them on enemy phase as soon as they spawn. In practice, nothing really ever goes as planned. 24. I know Sumia will be relatively safe if I keep her near the front, so I'm thinking of doing a rally movement play. Because I really need to rescue Henry. Probably here, just so I can rally for Noe as well. This should allow me to pull Henry to safety. Yes. Okay, I'm feeling good about this. I can't remember exactly how far the Falcons can reach, especially if they spawn with pass, so it might be a good idea to get my characters as far into the bottom corner as possible. I'm actually going to unequip Lisa, so she doesn't kill herself with counter. If something flies up and attacks her. Okay, so the ones in the most danger now are Noe and Cordelia. Now I know that Cordelia gets doubled by the Falcons if they roll speed +2. I would really like to get her as far into this corner as possible. I don't know if Robin will be able to body block for her. There's a chance that she might just die here. I haven't done a lot of testing on this chapter. I played one time off stream getting ready for this stream. I mean, I've done it, like, you know, in the past, but not like for this specific playthrough. I was pretty busy this week. And then I'll put Noe behind her. Speed is pretty low. What about putting just Lonku over here with a bow equipped? Then if something... Oh, he has no healing items, does he? Can I get a concoction? I can. I kind of like this idea of having just a bow equipped. Hold on a second. Because if something flies over and attacks him with like a spear or a javelin, he can actually counter with the bow. Alright, let's see what happens. Let's see where these guys actually spawn. Okay, they spawn... Oh, they spawn actually right over here in the corner with me. Yeah, that's an issue. That's a problem. I'm trying to think, how did I solve this on the I think the way I solved this on the previous attempts is actually just deploying the fewest number of units possible. This is one of the chapters where I actually advocate for low-man strategies. And now that I'm seeing it again, now that I'm remembering exactly where these guys spawn, and the fact that one of them spawns right here, it pretty much means that you should only deploy like the 6 characters who are actually capable of fighting Pegasus Knights on the turn when they spawn. Which is going to be Lonku, Cordelia, Robin, maybe Lucina if we can get her a speed pair up. Looking pretty grim, honestly. Yeah, them spawning in the corner does not help. I thought they spawned here and here for some reason. It's been a while since I played this map. They actually spawn like here. They actually spawn like here. So first of all, they actually don't reach. So the one with the spear reaches like the edge here, but this one actually doesn't reach unless you stand at the very edge. The one you have to worry about is the one that spawns over here, because he can essentially just, or she can essentially just hit any unit that she wants to, and she does spawn with a spear, which means it's very difficult to block her. Like, you can't even, I couldn't even put Olivia here and then put characters around her, because the spear would still be able to reach her. Alright, so let's think about how we're going to fix this. Can I stand on the spot where the enemy spawns? It doesn't work. They just spawn in the next square over. That only works on enemies who spawn from staircases and forts. It doesn't work on enemies who spawn from the edge of the map. Enferesi asks, as a Lucina fanboy, what do I think the strategic viability of S-ranking her with Robin? I mean, it's good. It's certainly a good strategy. I don't know if it's the best strategy. I think it's a little overrated, but it's not bad or anything. Bochin instead of Falcon. Let me caught up on chat really quick. I'm just checking if I missed anything and super important, like people warning me not to do something really stupid that I did. No, yeah, no, it doesn't work. You can't block. All right, so what we're gonna do instead is we're gonna do. I'm very strongly considering doing a low man here, just to meet my experience goals on Frederick and to beat the chapter. I don't love doing this, but I think this is one of the few chapters where, unless you can either rush for the boss kill. We can either rush for the boss kill, or we can do a low man strategy where we do the tree branch strat. But if you do the tree branch, you have to low man because of the Pegasus that spawns over here. There's otherwise no safe tiles, and let me go back and I'm gonna check the stream footage really quick. I'm gonna see if there are like any safe tiles. I don't think there are. It's because of the way the enemies spawn, like the configuration that they spawn with. They just cover like the entire map on the edges, and then the center of the map is covered by the enemies who spawn in the center. So you either need to kill the boss before turn 5. Okay. So there's a guy with a spear standing in this tile, and then another Pegasus standing in this tile. Pegasus have 8 movement. Yeah, you would pretty much have to you have to get within range of all these enemies up here. Or I think if you get into this corner, if you can get your entire team up into this corner, you might actually be safe. Because, let me do this again. I know they spawn parallel to each other. You'd have to get your units up into like this area, like over here, to be safe. But then they'd be in range of like other enemies on the right-hand side. But I don't know, like these squares right here are like kind of safe. But this is the same problem. This is only like 6 squares. You're not like 6 squares is not enough to be safe. You need additional squares to be safe. So if you were gonna high man, I think what you would want to do is send one group up here into these tiles, and then one group down here onto the tree branch. The problem is whoever is on the tree branch needs to be able to fight the Pegasus who spawns here, and the one in reinforcement coming from here, and the 2 reinforcements coming from up here. And then the other problem is that the group up here, all of the ambush spawns are going to start, and all of the enemies who start moving on turn 6 are going to move up here, and they're going to corner your group and finish them off. You always try your best to get Henry married because his ending is really sad. His paired ending. Can I try to stand on the spot that the enemy spawns and see if that actually blocks? I know it doesn't, but sure, I'll do it. If I can figure out what exact spot he spawns from. Rescue staff is really strong in this game. What I think is the hardest map Chapter 5, Chapter 12. This chapter I used to think was really hard. I don't think it's that hard anymore, though. It's still this one's up there. I think the map where it has collapsing lava platforms with like there's treasure chests in the lava, and then when the platforms collapse, they destroy the treasure chests very quickly. It's very quickly to get to the chests before they get destroyed. And then number 2, they turn into damage tiles that damage your units. And then number 3, you have flying enemies who can like just fly across the map and kill you, while your movements are like getting slowed down and damaged by damage tiles. That's one of the hardest maps in the game if you're trying to get the treasure chests. If you're not trying to get the treasure chests, it's not as difficult. I wanted to make a poll. Let me see what people would prefer to see. We actually might not even beat this chapter. I forgot to say this at the start of the stream, but like I said, because I didn't get a lot of practice during the week on this one, this is kind of intended to be a stream where we're figuring things out and testing things. Like, for example, one thing I learned is that we need to give a speed tonic to Lonku, so that he was 1 speed short of doubling an enemy. It would be very convenient if he could double that enemy. All right, so what strategy are we going to attempt? Tree branch, cheese, or low turn boss kill? Yeah, the original enemies, so these enemies up here will not move until you get into their range. The enemies in the center start moving on turn 6, and then the enemies at the bottom start moving right away, which is why we started picking away at the bottom of the group. You say the Pegasus spawns parallel with the sparkling spot. Okay, so what I'll do right now, I'm going to do the low man strategy first. So let me think about which units we can safely deploy here. So we're definitely going to do Crom and Sumia. We're definitely going to do Lonku and Noe. I would like to send Lucina and Robin if I can. The problem is we're going to have to fly them over to the tree branch, which is going to be tricky. So let's think about how many flyers we're going to have available. We're going to have Cordelia and Frederick. It would be really good if we could get Frederick to level 15 and then use the second seal on him very quickly, but it's so difficult to do that very quickly. I don't think we can afford to deploy Olivia. I'm going to try with this configuration. The biggest problem I see here is we're not going to be able to get the thief on the right-hand side. We're not going to have enough rescue staff uses. How do we solve that problem? I wonder. Because we actually have no real rescue staff user other than Cordelia. What's our rescue range, though? 4 tiles? Oh, let me give the tonic to Lonku as well before we save. I'm going to give it to Cordelia as well, I think. Just because if the enemies don't spawn with speed +2, she can avoid being doubled, which is kind of has value. Let me save our current prep. Okay, so I'm thinking we do something. So we're definitely gonna have these 2 on the right-hand side. We're gonna do this group over here, these 2 over here, and then these 2 over here. So I have 2 ideas. The first idea is we kill the thief with either Robin or Saria under the assumption that they can survive all of these attacks on enemy phase, which is pretty gross looking. It might work if we can kill the thief at 2 range. With Nosferatu, perhaps. Then she's only taking attacks from you, and you. The problem is, like, all of these guys just spawn with counter, which is really bad. This guy spawned with counter as well, of course he did. Let's not kid ourselves. Oh, who do I plan on making Morgan's mother? We already married Robin and Saria together. So that's the choice. The reason I like doing this pairing is because it allows Morgan to start in the Dark Mage class, which is a really good class. You wish this game had more than 3 save files? Me too. Who is Henry's going to be pairing with Lisa. I think I understand what you're asking. You like strats on Lunatic Plus that give you more control, so cheese is often the choice. Hitting support ranks and weapon ranks is hard enough sometimes. Yeah, I totally agree. Alright, looks like people want to see the tree branch cheese anyway, but for this attempt, I'm just experimenting. I want to see if we can block that Falcon's spawn. I'm 99% sure that you cannot block his spawn. The way it works is you can block enemies who spawn on forts and stairways. You cannot block enemies who start on the edge of the map. They just start in the next square over. In fact, sometimes enemies who come out of stairways just spawn from the next square over as well. It's kind of weird. But forts are the kind, like, typically with forts you can pretty much always block them. Let's work on our bow rank. I actually think if Lucina had hit that at that dual strike, it would have helped so much though. The fact that she got the dual strike but then her attack missed really screwed us over. Can we kill him with Nosferatu? We need a lot of speed. Can we kill him with a hand axe? Yeah, actually our accuracy is much better than I thought it was going to be. Problem is we kind of need Nosferatu to stay alive. I'm going to try this, just because so many enemies spawned with counter. I'm going to see if she can enemy phase them with Nosferatu. Like every single enemy that she needs to fight spawn with counter. It's kind of annoying, but just like play the cards that you're dealt, I suppose. Alright, next we have this group. She did not spawn with anything that's going to stop us from killing her with the Beast Killer. You know what I want to do? Do I have an extra Beast Killer in the convoy? No, I don't. I want to see if the Unforged Beast Killer can one-shot these guys. But then again, I'll probably need the Forged Killer for the promoted Falcon Knights anyway, so it's not even worth talking about. This guy spawned with counter again, of course he did. There's a higher than usual chance for these warriors to spawn with counter on Lunatic Plus because they can get it from their normal warrior class pool, and then they can also get it from the Lunatic Plus skill pool. That's why you see these warriors with counter so often. It's because they can already spawn with counter, even on Lunatic mode, but then it's just even more likely on Lunatic Plus. I liked spawning from this tile, that gave us a lot of flexibility. So we're going to do this. Alright, so the big question here is going to be whether or not Saria can survive. This guy spawning with counter is a nuisance. Yeah, we can't even fight him. That's fine. Let's see about drawing this guy away from Saria, if that's the case. 29. We have like no chance of hitting him. Doesn't have Axe Breaker. Actually, it looks like I can just pull them back to safety. I wonder if I should do it that way instead. Because this is a testing attempt, let's just see about potentially keeping them, just like if they can stay alive or not. I'm actually going to rally speed for her. Alright. So this is the first big problem. We deal 34 damage to ourselves, and then of course we don't heal anything because the enemy's already on low health. Yeah, that doesn't work. The fact that we were at full health when we hit the enemy caused us to not get any healing from Nosferatu until the enemy was already on low health. And then when he was on low health, we didn't get any healing from him because... Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have to do the rescue strategy instead. Hey, Cell. Hey, Ellery, how have I been this week? I've been pretty busy this week. But I'm doing okay. How are you guys doing? How's everybody doing today? Yeah, no, I'm not going to do save states. I mean, they'd be useful just for, like, testing stuff like we're doing now, but, eh. Alright. I'm going to open with that, because I think that's the least consistent opener. Suffering from success. Yeah, it's just weird. Like, Nosferatu is not as reliable as people think it is, especially not on Lunatic Plus, like, once you bring counter into the equation. Alright, the good thing is they did not spawn with counter this time, so we can actually just try the same thing again. And in theory, it should actually work, because we're not going to be dealing 34 counter damage to ourselves. So let's try this again when the enemies don't have counter. Does this one have counter? He doesn't have counter either, so we can have Frederick do his opener that we want him to do. Honestly, though, like, fighting that guy is barely even worth it. He doesn't even get that much experience. We can one-shot here. If this guy spawns with Pavis, you can't one-shot him, so you have to be a little bit careful. You can't just autopilot in this game. On Lunatic Plus, you have to really think about what you're doing. This guy finally didn't spawn with counter. Interesting. And this guy doesn't have counter either. In theory, we can actually fight both of these enemies. We have to be able to take 33 plus 3 damage, which we can definitely take. Yeah, we can take 33 more damage. This is good. This is going to allow us to start chipping away at the promoted enemies a little bit earlier in the turn order. Yeah, this is the one map in the entire game that I think you probably should low man, even if you're doing like full team strats. Especially if you're trying to get, if you want to fight all the reinforcements, it's a good opportunity to train these like 2, 4, 6, 8. This is like a really good opportunity to train these 8 units. And the only downside is you're missing out on training like the other 6 units, but then you can just field them again in the next chapter. They don't really fall that far behind. They just fall like half of a chapter behind, really. Because you're not even really supposed to fight this chapter, you're just supposed to run up here and kill the boss anyway. So like most of the enemies who we fielded, like the enemies that we didn't field on this chapter, like Lisa, Henry, like they would have only gotten like 1 combat on this chapter anyway if we had to rush up there and kill the boss quickly. So, I don't know. I wonder if we have Frederick fight him. Eh. Let's just do this. I should have kept them unpaired and used rally speed, though. It's fine. Yeah, this is like much better because we're actually getting the health back now from Nosferatu instead of damaging ourselves. We're actually healing ourselves back up. It's a massive difference. I'm wasting Silver Axe charges here. I don't like that. That's fine. I'm totally okay with that. I don't think that dual guard mattered. I doubt the Vengeance proc mattered. We were close to full health anyway. Alright, so now we can make much faster progress towards getting into that top right corner. Alright, so first we're going to bounce across the map right here. One big problem I just realized is because of our lack of staff users, when our health gets low, we don't really have any great ways to heal ourselves back up. Excuse me. I'm going to start chipping this guy down. We should be able to kill him if we just focus all of our attacks on him. Yeah. In that sense, I can probably give the kill to whoever I want. He does have Axebreaker, though, which means Noe is just, like, incapable of fighting him. Yeah. we actually fed Lanku for exactly this reason, because now we can actually double these enemies. I don't know though, because with Noe being incapable of hitting him, she's not going to get any experience anyway. This would be a great chance to give some experience to Frederick. Let me make sure I actually kill this guy before I do anything else. I think if I stand right next to him, I actually kill him more reliably. Where's my Flux Tome? Unfortunately, I don't have it. We'll just use Thunder then. Axe Breaker moment. Hey Danny, thanks for being here today. Enemies we didn't field. Lisa is an enemy host. Yeah, I mean characters that we didn't field, not enemies, but yeah, same thing I suppose. Okay, so this should give us one additional turn to carry units across over to the tree branch. Ambush spawns are terrible game design. There's a way to make them work, but they did not do it. They did not do that in this game. They did it in the way that does not work. So, in a sense, I agree with you. I don't need Sumia to get across the gap this turn. Although it's better if she does. So the big problem is Robin and Saria. I don't know how I'm going to get them across in a single turn. I guess Cordelia with the rescue staff can do it. The problem is I also need to heal Sumia up to full. Alright, so let's do this first. I'm going to use a... I should have an elixir in the convoy. I'm just going to use an elixir. Drop Frederick. No, I'm not going to drop Frederick. I'm going to rescue these two this turn so I don't have to do it next turn. This is the value of short-range rescue. I don't need to rescue somebody from across the map, I just need to move them a few tiles. Okay. These characters are going to have, the ambush spawns are going to have either 31 or 33 speed. Can we get Noe to the point where she doesn't get doubled by them? It looks like we can only get her to 20 speed, so we cannot leave Noe in the lead. We have to put Lanku in the lead. So we're going to start by doing this. Bronze bow equipped. Okay, the Pegasus don't spawn this turn. I just realized this turn is going to be the enemies who spawn over here. Actually, next turn is the Pegasus, so I actually have one more turn to get ready for the Pegasus reinforcements. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Lanku in the corner. 28. 27. Unfortunately, Cordelia still gets doubled. Even with the speed tonic, right? 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Yeah, she still gets doubled even with the speed tonic. What do I do about that? Is there any way to keep her safe? It probably has to do with moving her out of range. Either blocking this spawn, which we know we can't do, but we're going to try it anyway. Or moving her somewhere like over here, where she's out of range of this guy, but then she also needs to be out of range of these guys, which I don't think is possible because there's longbow snipers in this group, which means they can actually stand here, they can shoot like all the way over here. Noe's partner is Lanku. Yeah, I'm gonna test if I can block the reinforcements. I don't think it'll work, but I will test it just because you want me to. And there's not really any downside. The only downside is that I can't actually find a formation that keeps Cordelia safe. So my plan was to put Cordelia here and block Lanku. I don't think that actually works. I just realized also, this enemy is going to spawn with a spear, which means they're always going to attack at 2 range, if they can. Which means I actually don't need to worry about playing around counter. So what I could do... I'm not sure. Alright, let's just put Sumia here. And I will turn on enemy movement options so we can actually see the enemies appear and move. I'll do it next turn though. Alright, so here comes these spawns. Yes. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. I think I might have just saved it. I might have just saved us. Because there's nobody in range of these spawns, they didn't start moving right away. Because they have no valid targets, they're just standing here. That means that this space over here is now safe. Oh, we can use this. We can use this. We can high man. We can high man. I'm pretty sure we don't have to low man this. If we keep everyone over here, if we get everyone over here on turn 3, these characters won't begin moving right away, which means that we can actually use this tile, which should potentially be safe from this character. So this character can move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, here. There's actually only 2 safe tiles here, but there's 2 safe tiles here that we can use to our advantage. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 90% sure if I move Cordelia over there, she won't get attacked. But then that's going to open up Lanku to getting attacked. So the problem we have to solve now is... Actually, this isn't even really a problem. Yeah, let's do this. I'm going to test this out while we're here. Okay, so Lanku's going to be here. You're going to be blocking Lanku. I can equip the hand axe because I don't need to worry about counter. You're going to have the bronze bow equipped, but it's not going to matter because when she spawns, she's actually going to come over here. She's going to attack you in 1 range anyway. She can. And then we're going to keep you here to body block and try to stop the reinforcement. I don't think it's going to work. I'm going to go into options. I'm going to turn enemy movement on. So I'm pretty sure you can only block enemies who appear from forts and sometimes stairways. The stairways are inconsistent. Alright, moment of truth. Here we go. See what happens. Yeah, she just moves down 1 tile. She attacks Cordelia, and she attacked at 1 range. Okay, she did not do anything that I expected her to do. She attacked Cordelia at 1 range. Why would she do that? With a spear. It's because she was already standing next to Cordelia. Which means that, enemies don't like to move if they don't have to. And because I had a 2-range weapon equipped anyway, she just decided it wasn't worth backing up 1 tile. So we just caused ourselves to take counter damage that we didn't need to take. She also spawned... She didn't spawn with speed +2. Why are we not doubling her? Am I crazy? Why did we not double? Oh, because we only have 34 speed. Alright, did these enemies have higher stats than the ones in the left side of the map? 31. No, it's the same stats. I think I was comparing them against the Pegasus Knights. Alright, the tricky part now is that I just made it so that the longbow fighters can reach me because I put Cordelia over here, which I didn't really need to do. Let me just confirm that this enemy does in fact... Oh, she doesn't double Cordelia. She has 31. We have 28. Okay, I don't know why I was thinking he was going to double me. She was going to double me. The good thing is none of them have counter. None of them have speed +2. We got very lucky with their skill configurations. If we can eliminate these 3 this turn, we'll be in a very good position. If I didn't put Cordelia down here, we could have made it so that these tiles were a lot safer because the longbow guy wouldn't have moved yet. That's unfortunate. We kind of screwed up right there. These 2 both have pass, so if we're going to kill them, we have to get rid of both of them. Can I kill him with the Beast Killer? Forged Beast Killer does not do it. It doesn't one-shot them. So we're going to be relying on a Crom Dual Strike no matter what. We can kill this one with the Beast Killer, though. Yes. That's gonna kind of free up a lot of real estate, so let's start with that, especially because we have Gale Force anyway. Okay, we have a spear in front and a lance behind. I think we can set up something where we only leave characters in range of the spear. Something like this. Hand axe here. Bronze bow here. I wonder how much she can heal for. I really wish this was a C rank staff. She's so close to. Look how close she is to B rank. She can almost use the recover staff. That would have been so sick. I think I just need to use another elixir charge. This turn, 6 additional Bow Knights spawn. This absolute buffoon just ran right into Lonku. Just wanted to get himself killed, I suppose. Now the problem is, not only the ambush spawns, but the other Pegasus Knights start moving on this turn. This works a lot better when you have more... Oh crap, I just unselected all enemies. I hate that there's a shortcut for that. There's a button you can press to accidentally to unselect all enemies if you do it on accident, as I just did. It's pretty inconvenient. Let's look at the enemy formation first and then think about how we can chip away at it and prevent ourselves from getting overrun by these Falcons. So the thing is, even if this attempt fails, we can do much, much, much better on the next attempt because we have very valuable information. Number one, if we want to high man, we know that these 2 tiles over here are safe. Number 2, if we want to low man again, what we can do is keep everyone over here in the corner so that this longbow doesn't move. If he doesn't move, then all of these tiles over here will be safe, which will give us so much more freedom for repositioning. Alright, so first of all, there is no way to keep ourselves completely safe by just killing this Pegasus. So we need to get rid of, we need to dispel that notion. The next thing is this Pegasus. It looks like this Pegasus here is the only one who is actually blocking a large, or is covering a large amount of territory. I think what we need to do is give a speed tonic to Sumia on the next attempt so that she can reliably kill these enemies. Right now we're kind of praying for dual strikes, but we're not even doubling enemies, so the dual strikes are not super likely to happen. What I can do is I can rally speed though. So if we're going to rally speed, the next thing we have to worry about is this guy, who Robin should be able to fight. And looks like we can, although that will leave us in range of the longbow. What about attacking from here? This is probably an Elthunder moment. I think because our accuracy is so low, I think I'm actually just going to go for Thunder. Okay, hold on. I'm going to rally speed before I do anything else. This is going to be probably the biggest rally speed we're ever going to get. This just immediately switches it so that Robin is now doubling. Giving me 2 chances to dual strike here. Now, if Lonku or Noe attacks from here, she gets the benefits of rally speed too, by the way. She can actually one-shot this enemy. Let me make sure I'm going to get rid of this one before anything else. So if I Javelin here, I've got 2 chances to dual strike. I need to see how much damage the bow is doing. 36. It's going to deal less than 36. Sorry, hold on. It's going to deal 35. So 16 plus 16 plus 35 is 67. All we need is 1 dual strike here, even with the steel bow. Yeah. Oh, that hurt a lot. That hurt it a considerable amount. Probably going to have to use another elixir charge soon. Alright, because of the way things worked out, We can actually keep Noe in the lead here, which I love, because this is probably going to let her promote very soon. We can pick up this kill here. Now, I believe only Robin is in range of this Pegasus. That is correct. I might put Sumia over here with Robin. I think it's a good idea. And then use another elixir. If we knew that we were going to do the low man strat, we could have just kept everyone on the right-hand side to begin with, and then we wouldn't have this longbow to worry about. But because of the way we did things, because we were trying to check to see if the enemy would spawn over here, we ended up baiting over the longbow guy, and he's covering all of these tiles, which is making them unsafe, which is unfortunate because it would be nice if these tiles were safe right now. And he eventually starts moving on his own anyway. Yeah, a lot of other games enemies prefer to move if they can. Yeah, in this one, like if an enemy spawns and they're standing right next to you and they have a 2-range weapon, they'll just like stay next to you if you also have a 2-range weapon. If they can attack you at 2-range, and you can't counter them back, they will step back to 2-range you. And then there was one situation, I think terrain factors into it as well, because there was one situation where we had an enemy Dark Mage run up and attack us in 1-range with absolutely no explanation. There was just no reason why he would ever do that. He didn't get extra, he didn't move on to a forest to get extra void or anything like that. I think like we were standing in a forest. I can't remember exactly, but it was so weird. Like he moved up and he attacked us at 1-range, despite the fact that like he could have just attacked at 2-range, and it caused us to take counter damage. It's in the stream archive for chapter 12 if you want to go look. Not chapter 12, chapter 10. If you want to go look at it. On one, I think it was like on the first attempt, a Dark Mage just moved in and attacked Robin at 1-range with no, like zero explanation. There's no reason why he should ever do that. Now the unfortunate part is, because we're so far ahead with Sumia, we can't get rally speed again. Probably should have thought about that. We actually probably should have had Sumia back up so that we could rally speed for her on this turn, have her run forward, kill this enemy, and then back off. But we're kind of past the point of no return at this point anyway. I think what we need to do now is start thinking about how we're going to fight these enemies. So this one right here is a huge problem. Because he has counter, we very badly need to get rid of him. We might need to go for an 87 dual strike here. Yeah, this is very tedious. I asked if people wanted to see the tree branch strategy, so we're gonna do the tree branch strategy. You basically fly your units over here, and then after you finish killing the Falcon Knights, what you can do is just go fly back and forth and kill the other enemies one at a time. It's very funny, very amusing, but yes, it does take a while. All right. So, this one. I think they did... Oh, this one rallied speed for the other two, which is going to make them even harder to get rid of. I think we have to go for a Silver Bow dual strike here. The other idea would be to use maybe the Towering Bow for a guaranteed... Oh, God, no, it doesn't even do good damage at all. Never mind that. Well, what if we get rid of this one first, and then we attack with the Silver Bow or the Killer Bow? I wonder how much damage we would deal then. Silver Bow actually does not one-shot. So yeah, either way, we're going to be fishing for a dual strike. What actually reaches me in that tile? Is it just this guy? Oh, okay, well hold on then. There's a chance we can use this to our advantage. Okay, we're absolutely just praying for a dual strike here. Got it. That was like a absolutely necessary dual strike, just letting you know. That was not good gameplay. This one I'm less concerned about. If we just weaken him, that's like enough. Especially because we'll be out of range of this guy. Obviously, I'll kill him if I can, if I get lucky, but if I don't, it's like fine. Okay, I got lucky. Now we have this guy to worry about. Don't like that. This guy has counters, so we don't want to end our turn in range of him. Oh, you think selecting all the enemies again is tedious when you accidentally unselect them? Yeah, it is very tedious. I don't know why they added a button to deselect all enemies. Like, what situation would you ever want to deselect all enemies? Yeah, they just move one tile over if you block their spawn point. Alright, what if we do this? Oh god, without rally speed though. Well, I think even with rally speed, we might not even be able to double him anymore because he got rally speed as well. So he's on 35, we're on 33. Yeah, if we get rally speed, we still won't double him anyway. So if that's the case, we can chip him down. And then maybe if Lonku can finish him with the bow equipped, that means Lonku won't... he can't. It would be nice if Lonku could finish him with the bow equipped, because then Lonku wouldn't take any counter damage. And then we've already determined that no, he cannot one-shot him, right? She actually probably can with the glass axe. She has to hit, though. Do we have D-rank bows yet? No, we're still one weapon rank short. Do we go for glass axe here? But if we miss, it's like an immediate game over. Oh, he has Vantage as well. If we just move out of his range, we'll be safe. I don't really love doing that. Oh yeah, that's a good... Ash, that's a really good point. By the way, thanks for stopping by today. Yeah, I've done this before. I went through while I was on the prep screen, I went through I wasted a bunch of time highlighting a bunch of enemies on the prep screen, and then as soon as you start the map, it actually deselects all of them, which is very unfortunate. Do I want to do Highman with this same idea? I would love to, but this map is very difficult to Highman. I've tried it many times in the past. I've never really figured out a strategy that works. I think the thing that we discovered with these two tiles over here being safe, we could maybe use that to our advantage if we want to come up with a more consistent strategy, especially a Highman strategy. But even if we want to do that, we have to get like additional flyers. Like, we can't do it like we would need to get like someone to help fly Robin around. We would need to get, I don't know, it's very tricky. It's very tricky. Gung Ho is telling me to go for RNG. Alright, everyone pay attention right now. If this misses, it's Gung Ho's fault. Nice. And if it hits, Gung Ho also gets credit for that epic Noe moment. Oh, that's so good. That matters a lot. That matters a ton. Alright, now this Pegasus will fly over here as well. Now we've just got one guy with a Silver Lance to worry about, and he actually doesn't reach very far. It's actually just a base Pegasus, it's not even a promoted one. Yeah, so we can just fight him at 2 range here. Did he spawn with counter? I mean, of course he spawned with counter, but, you know, nothing we can do about that. Alright, I'm going to fish for Beast Killer shots. with Frederick. I would love for him to reach level 15 at any point. Just gonna pretend that didn't happen. I can actually pull the longbow guy over by doing this. Nice. Do I get Noe another level here? This is very precarious. Actually, it's guaranteed. I can actually get a guaranteed kill here. And she should get another level for this kill. Let's do it. She's gonna promote anyway. Nice. Yeah, so that just gives her one extra level worth of stats before promoting. Sick. Now I'm going to back this group up. Yeah, this should be fine. Doesn't really matter. Am I going to end the vote soon? I was going to leave it open until this attempt failed, but it looks like this attempt is actually going to succeed. So, it looks like people want the tree branch strat anyway. So let's just go with that. 31 votes, by the way. Thanks everybody who voted. Yeah, people want the tree branch strat. We're doing the tree branch strat, and it actually succeeded on the first attempt. So we got the longbow fighter in a good position where we can actually fight him at range. And then we got this guy in a kind of weird spot. I don't know why he moved there. We can use this to our advantage, though. Hit level 15, please. Thank you so much. Oh my god. That took way too long. Alright, now we can finally switch Frederick over to a Wyvern Lord. Or we can actually just bench him. All we need to do is just pass down Dual Guard plus to Severa. Really. Okay. So... here's the problem. I think when we attack him with the longbow, we still get countered. Yeah, for 22 damage. So what we have to do is set up situations where we can bait him into attacking Crom. And also, while I'm doing that... I have to get all the other characters out of the way. Let's just do some, prep work while we're here. Wyvern Lord versus Griffin Rider is a pretty tough call. Swordbreaker and Lancebreaker are both good. Wyvern Rider gets a really good level 5 skill, but so does Griffin Rider. Having said all of that, one second. In the case of Noe specifically, Wyvern Lord is just significantly better because she's weak against the Wormslayer. So getting her Swordbreaker sooner is better, and she also appreciates having access to a different weapon type. She's not strong enough where she can rely on just using axes, although axes are very good. Giving her the ability to switch to lances so that she has weapon triangle advantage over sword-wielding enemies is pretty good, is pretty helpful for a character who doesn't have the best stats. Okay, now, we actually might be able to just get this guy to just attack Crom instead of attacking Frederick, just because of the fact that Crom's defense is lower. I'm not sure if this will work, but it might. Excuse me, I'll use the Towering Bow. Alright, let's see who he attacks. Yeah, he attacks Crom. Okay. Cool. So now, the only enemies that will move are enemies who can reach us at 3 range, which is only the longbow fighters. So we can actually use this to our advantage and just fight the longbow fighters. Unfortunately, because this guy survived on low health, what we need to do now is back up and switch characters again. We can also heal Noe back up while we're here. The reason I'm doing this is so that I can use Gale Force to get rid of this guy. His counter, that's a problem. Can I one-shot him? Yes, I can. This will prevent Crom from having to fight 2 enemies on enemy phase. So we go like this. Because if Crom had killed this sniper and then the other sniper moved into his position and then attacked, Crom would have died. I'm also going to move Robin next to Crom for support bonuses and things like that. And then we'll just get some more nice staff experience for free. Drop Lonku over here. We can also put Saria over here. It doesn't actually help because the enemy's too far away for Anathema. Nice guard. Getting a lot of dual strikes too. Trying to make Combat Wyvern work. I think it's mostly for the defense and strength on Lonku, although I'd have to check their parrot bonuses. I was kind of just doing that off the top of my head. Let me actually see if the Griffin parrot bonuses are actually that much worse. Or any worse, really. Serene's Forest. Awakening. I really want them to be a switch pair. I don't want it to just be Lonku. Okay, so Wyvern Lord gives 1 extra strength and 1 extra defense, but Griffin Rider actually gives +1 move, which is definitely good. Griffin Riders are really good in this game, but they're better for characters who either are going to be pure support. Excuse me, hold on. Griffin Riders are better for characters who are either going to be pure support, or they need to have good enough combat that they can fight with only axes and like never be able to switch to anything else. Like the ability to switch to a Bronze Lance, like even an E rank Bronze Lance, is actually pretty valuable, because especially in Lunatic and Lunatic Plus mode, because what enemies always have maximum weapon ranks, when you have weapon triangle advantage over them, they lose all of their weapon rank bonuses. So, for example, let me find a guy with a sword. He has an axe, of course he does. A sword, okay, so this guy has a sword. Because he has A rank in swords, if we fought him with an axe, he would have like, I can't even remember off the top of my head, but it's like he has like +30 hit, +30 avoid, and like +4 or +5 attack. And all we have to do is equip a lance, and he loses all of those bonuses. So, even though I have E rank lances and he has A rank swords, if I switch to a lance, it's like I gain the A rank bonuses because he's losing the A rank bonuses. It's sort of like me gaining the A rank bonuses, if that makes sense. Because we're taking 30 hit away from him, we're effectively gaining 30 avoid, and because we're taking 30 avoid away from him, we're effectively gaining 30 hit. And yeah, swords give either, is it only +3? I thought it was +4 or 5, but either way, even if it's only +3. Like the fact that they get +3 might from A rank means that we're reducing his damage by 3 points or even by 6 points. So what I'd like to do now is draw out the characters who have 2 ranged weapons by standing here. So I need a character who can stand here, kill this enemy, and survive. He doesn't have advantage, so I just need guaranteed accuracy. Unfortunately, I don't actually kill him. Alright, let's just do this. Let's just enemy phase him one more time. Just for safety. That's okay, I'm fine with that. Alright, she's getting a ton of staff experience. I also forgot that we were going to do this. I don't know, is it really worth it to switch him over to a Griffin Rider or a Wyvern Lord when we're probably going to bench him? We're probably benching him in favor of his daughter, like, almost immediately, so I don't know if it's worth it. Like, if I was going to use the second seal, it would have been on, like, if I could get him to level 15 on turn 2 or turn 3, I would use the second seal and then use him as one of my flyers to transport characters over. But since we can't do that anyway, it just feels kind of like a waste. Alright, so we're going to move here. This should bait in only the bow-using characters. Yeah, so that all of the enemies who can use bows are going to start moving now. And then we're just going to back up. And think about how we can start picking off these enemies one at a time. If I pair up Saria with her, I can actually get more healing. Okay, so the scariest thing about this is this can take a while, and if you end up getting to a situation where you're like relying on dual strikes, after like 40 minutes of doing this, it can feel really, really bad because if you miss or you fail, that's like pretty much a game over, and you just lose like an hour of progress. We can hit him for 58 damage, so we actually don't get the kill here if we don't dual strike. Hold on a second. I should be using the Beast Killer. Yeah, Beast Killer does it. Okay. Beast Killer does it even without dual strikes. In fact, we can use the Unforged Beast Killer for this, I'm pretty sure. Save ourselves a Strength Tonic and save ourselves the more expensive Beast Killer charges. Yeah, the bow using enemies are just sauntering over here. They think they're going to get some kills. What they're actually just doing is just moving into range to let me kill them. So this is why having a trained Sumia is fantastic, because she can just fly in, kill one of these enemies, fly back out. Fly in, kill one of these enemies, fly back out. And then even if you're not doing the tree branch strategy, she's very useful for killing 2 thieves on the left-hand side at the start of the chapter, and then also she can leapfrog up here and kill the boss very quickly, which gives you a much better chance of killing this boss before turn 5, so that you don't have to deal with any ambush spawns. Tricky part is just how much of them have like overlapping ranges. It makes it so that even once you draw all the enemies over, you still have to like pick them off one at a time. We're probably going to have to use the second seal. Ooh, we're going to get hit plus 20 though. That's nice. I would like to get experience on other characters, but we have to separate the enemies so that they don't have overlapping attack ranges first. Because there's too many bow using enemies. Does this guy have a bow? Oh, he has a tomahawk. Okay, I was wondering why he was able to attack. Alright, I'm going to move here. This should pull them over a little bit closer. No, it didn't. Why not? This might be a problem. I don't think we can get them any closer than they are already, which is going to make it difficult to do hit and run tactics very, very soon. Alright, let's get rid of this guy first. I got some ideas. Hold on a second. Speed is 31. Speed is 25. I can actually double him even without a para partner. So what if I do this? Who would I want with me? Probably Cordelia, actually. Right? No, I don't need Cordelia for anything. I guess Noe makes more sense. Alright, so what if we do this? So the problem is, Robin can't actually stand on the water. Okay, that ruins my plan. I was thinking about potentially dropping... Oh god, excuse me. Here's what happens when I eat before I stream. I get acid reflux. and then it makes my throat like really sore, like coffee and scratchy. Do I get access to more beast killers later? I actually have a bunch. I have Cordelia's holding one, Frederick's holding one, and Sumia is currently holding 2. So I have so many beast killers, so I'm not going to run out anytime soon. Hey big boss, haven't seen you in a while. Gale Force is so good. You don't play enough of this game to know, but it is the best skill. Is it the best skill in the game? Going by Superman theory, which I'll explain in a second, yes, I do think Gale Force is the best skill in the game. Going by like efficiency or like practicality, I don't think it's the best skill. So I'm going to explain what I mean by that. A lot of people will say like a character who joins in like the last map of the game but is really strong, like Sage Athos. I can't remember if he joins in the last map, but it's like near the very end of the game. They say Athos is like a low tier character because he joins at the very end, and so he's not available for most of the game. So what I call the Superman theory is that even if Superman was only in the game for 1 chapter, if he killed every enemy in 1 hit and he was invulnerable to all attacks, I would still say he was a very strong character. So Superman theory is where you say like a character who is strong is just strong. You don't think about all of the other stuff, like how many chapters are they available or how much work does it take to unlock them. So by that logic, Gale Force I think is the best skill in the game because it enables you to do so many things that are otherwise impossible. But if you think about the context of the game as a whole, Gale Force is still very high tier. It's probably still top tier, but the fact that it's only available on a small number of characters who mostly aren't great at combat on their own, the fact that you have to train for 15 levels in Dark Flyer, which possibly has the worst combat of any promoted class, these things are really like hold the skill back. Yeah, it's a big game changer, especially for Lunatic Plus, and you can get it fast if you know what you're doing. Alright, so what I wanted to do was stand here, drop Robin here, and then fight the enemy at 2 range. Unfortunately, that's not possible. I'm trying to think if there's any squares that I can reach, that I can drop Robin within range of enemies. It doesn't look to be the case. Yeah, so unfortunately that's not going to work. I thought it was going to work, but it's not going to work. We can't fight this guy at 1 range either because he has counter. Unfortunately, we kill ourselves with the Beast Killer. We can do it with the Silver Lance. We won't kill ourselves. The only way we kill ourselves is if we fail to dual strike, but if we fail to dual strike, we just lose anyway. So I think this is probably fine. We'll deal 29 damage to ourselves. Let's get rid of this guy first. He's kind of the biggest problem. So we want to stand parallel to him, which is where Sari is standing right now. Yeah, unfortunately, this is going to be the boring part of the stream, but you guys voted for this, so this is what we're going to see happen. This is not an exciting strategy. This is not an exciting strategy, but it is a very consistent strategy. Okay, unfortunately, we're getting to the point where we kill ourselves with the Beast Killer, and we don't guarantee to kill with the Silver Lance, so we're going to have to use that Strength Tonic anyway. Because I don't want to rely on non-guaranteed dual strikes. So we take 31 always, and then we kill him on the second attack, which keeps us alive. And then we fly back to safety. And then should I use the Recover Staff? So actually the problem is I don't actually have a lot of staffs in my convoy right now. I can use the Mend Staff though. I have to be very efficient with my staff uses now. Gotta get this one next. He's parallel to Frederick, so we're gonna stand here. Should we use the second seal now? You have to be level 20 to use it anyway. I'll show that. So if you're level 19 with 98 experience and you use the second seal, you can switch to a Great Knight, a General, a Falcon Knight, or a War Cleric, or a Sage. But once I hit level 20, I'll be able to use it to switch into a Dark Flyer, which is the class that I already am. which is fine because we actually want to stay as a Dark Flyer. We just want to reset our level to level 1. This is going to unfortunately waste a little bit of experience. Just because we don't get any rollover experience there. That triggers Gale Force. Now we fly back. Now we use the second seal. And now we can reset ourselves to a level 1 Dark Flyer. This is going to allow us to gain another 20 levels worth of experience before the end of the game. She's not going to reach level 20 Dark Flyer again, I don't think, before the end of the game. But either way, this is just going to allow us to keep gaining experience. So that we don't just sit there on level 20 forever. It's like mildly worth doing. Alright, do we have anything that doesn't have overlapping ranges now? Just this guy, and only if we stand on the water, which is actually good, because we can have Noe stand there. Let's see what our combat against him looks like. We want to train Noe wherever possible. Noe and Longku. She can fight him very effectively, so we're going to do that. This, I think, will cause the other enemies to start moving close to us again as well. Because all the enemies who can reach this tile are going to move forward because they want to attack Noe. But that's actually just going to put them in range of our Gale Force attacker. Nice. Yeah, so that Wyvern promotion just massively improved Noe's combat. Oh, we also got D-rank bows on Longku, that's a big deal. We can finally use our Iron Bow. Alright, so this just moved a ton of enemies forward. Now we can start picking off these enemies. I'm going to get rid of this guy. I believe these guys start with their axes equipped, which means we can fight them at 2 range if we need to. Watch out. This does not kill us, and it guaranteed kills him. Yes. Have to be very careful about our staff uses. So I'm trying to get the most out of this man's staff as I can. In fact, I'm going to pair Saria back up with her. Now, technically, there are probably enemies that I can hit with the longbow now. Get good rollover experience there, too. As soon as she gets Lancefare, I'm thinking of sending her over to Darkflyer, but once again, I don't know if that's worth it, because we're going to replace her with Severa anyway. I don't know, it's tricky. So this guy right here, we can actually hit him with the longbow. And I'm going to do so. I'm just going to have a Thunder Tome equipped. Towering Bow. This is a bow that we just picked up for free. It's not as good as the longbow, so we might as well just waste the Towering Bow charges. It's better than wasting longbow charges. Start healing everyone else back up to full. Sniper is such a good cheese class. Look at this, guys. Come on. How can you not love this? Plus, we're getting Tome experience onto Sumia. Alright, we have to switch her back into the lead anyway, so let's do that first. Probably use a heal staff here. It'll get her close to full. Should you reclass units after you get Gale Force? Most of the time, I would say in like 90% of cases, yes. As soon as you get Gale Force, you should just switch to a better class, because pretty much every other class has better combat. Sage, Falcon Knight, Great Knight, every class has better combat than Dark Flyer. In the case of Sumia, the reason why I'm keeping her in Dark Flyer is because she's mostly relying on Crom's dual strikes to attack, so her own combat isn't really that important. And what is very important is that in Dark Flyer, she can play around Aegis Plus and Pavis Plus by switching between tomes and physical weapons. She can't do that in any other class. So it's kind of like early game Tactician Robin, how having swords and tomes allows you to fight different types of enemies. Having lances and tomes allows Sumia to fight different types of enemies. What do I have planned for Severa? She's going to get Speed plus 2 and Dual Guard plus, and then we're going to promote her directly into Hero. And who does she pair up with? let me check Serene's Force again. She has a pairing with a specific Gen 2 female character. And I will check that right now, and I will tell you who it is. Supports. Severa... Where is she? Yes. It's Noaru. So... Robin and Saria are going to pass down skills to Noaru, and then she is going to pair up with Severa. So we're going to have Severa with Noaru, and we're going to have Cynthia with Lucina. Those are my plans. We'll see if they work or not. I haven't really done these pairings before, but people voted that they wanted me to try to use the Gen 2 child units, so we're unfortunately going to have to try to do that. Alright. This guy's going to be very tricky to get rid of. Extremely difficult. He has counter, which means if we fight him at one range, we're going to take counter damage. But he also has Aegis Plus, which means if we fight him at 2 range, we're going to be dealing significantly less damage. And if we don't kill him, if we don't get our dual strikes, we're not going to trigger Gale Force, which means we're going to be stuck standing next to him. Alright, let's get rid of the enemies that we know we can get rid of first then. So let's get rid of him next. Oh, I kept the Towering Bow equipped. I should have switched over to the Steel Bow. I just broke my Towering Bow for no reason. It was a little bit stupid. What does this guy have? Is he a Tomahawk user? He is. Unfortunately, he has no overlapping ranges. Okay, let's see. Yeah, unfortunately, all these enemies in the front have overlapping ranges, so we have to get rid of this guy next. Steel Bow's fine. This guy does not have counter, so we can just do this. Okay. We have significantly reduced the amount of enemy pressure and overlapping enemy ranges. We can probably start training Noe soon, but these warriors are a little bit scary. It looks like these two overlap with each other. The fact that they have counter is what's so scary. I'm trying to think if there's any way that we can fight like one or both of these guys on either player phase or enemy phase. Darkflyer has a great magic cap, but none of the magic focus units can get into it. I guess Lisa would do pretty well. Lisa with Tome Fair, Darkflyer might be her best class, I will say that. You just reminded me of that. But other than that, yeah, typically most characters want to get out of Darkflyer. Yeah, so Severa is going to be a soul tank eventually. Alright, is there any way that we can peel these two guys apart, pick them apart, do something, anything about them? I'm trying to figure something out. Let's see about this archer, I guess. Because if we get rid of him, yeah, if we get rid of these two archers... God, this guy has counter too. Oh my god, all three of them have counter. I said this earlier, these guys have an increased chance of spawning with counter. Because they can get it from their normal skill pool, and they can get it from their Lunatic Plus pool. So it's not that unusual for all of them to have counter, but it is very difficult to deal with. So how are we going to pick apart these three enemies? I wish I had a unit who could stand on the water and didn't take super effective damage from bows. Longfu can't stand on the water, can he? No. It would be nice if he could. If I put Saria over here, she'll get killed. and it will cause all of these other enemies to start moving, which means she's going to be very quickly cornered. Alright, let's fly up here and see what this matchup looks like. (26 plus 26). I don't think that kills. It does not. And then we would actually kill ourselves with counter damage. This is not the play. But this is our strongest weapon. He will one-shot us, so we cannot fight him at 2 range. This is a complication. So out of these 4 enemies, which one are we most likely to be able to pick off? It's probably this guy here. No, I think it's this guy. So what we would want to do is hit him with our strongest tome, which is going to be Arc Thunder, probably. No, it's going to be Katarina's Bolt. I could also potentially see what the Celica's Gale matchup looks like. That's going to give us 4 chances to dual strike, which I like a lot. How much does the Silver Bow do? Silver Bow is going to do 19 damage. Yes. Silver Bow is going to do 19 damage. We can hit for... If we get 1 dual strike, that's 57 damage. That's not enough to kill. So we would need 2 dual strikes here to get this kill, which is not... I mean, it's not unlikely, but it's not like anywhere near guaranteed. Celica's Gale will deal 48 damage. With 1 dual strike, that's 67. That kills. Celica's Gale is the better play here. It gives us 4 chances to dual strike, and we only need 1 dual strike to get the kill. Yeah. Okay. That was very weird, by the way. I just switched from having 40 viewers to only having 19 viewers, but then it went right back up to 40. I mean, I know this is a little bit boring watching me try to figure out how to kill these enemies while standing on a tree branch, but this, you guys voted for this, okay? You voted for this. This is my life now. Okay, can I get rid of this guy before I do anything else? I can. I very much would like to get rid of him. (31 times 2), that will kill, and it will not kill us. Chrom does not need the Silver Bow here. So let's go like this. That's fine. Now we run back to safety. That frees up a lot of real estate. I like that a lot. I very much like this. This is very educational. You hate this map, and cheesing the branch is more fun than dealing with ambush-effective weapons. The alternate strats would be over very quickly. Yeah, you know what? We should have shown... What we should have done is show the boss strategy first, because that one goes quickly, and then show the tree branch strategy afterwards, because that one takes a while, but I don't know. We're getting very close to level 15 Cordelia, by the way. Alright, so we're getting close to the point where I can just fly everybody over here and then fight these enemies. Like the way you would play the game normally. But I want to make sure, I just want to make sure like I'm not going to get overwhelmed while I'm trying, you know what I mean? Like after I've done all of this, like I don't want to get overwhelmed. Now unfortunately, because these guys both have counter and Aegis Plus, it's going to be very, very difficult to remove them. This one, I'm wondering if we go for Celica's Gale. And then if we fail to get the kill, we can just use the rescue staff to pull Sumia back. Might be valid. Thing is, technically, if we can get somebody over here, they can actually enemy phase this guy. But the problem is he's going to use the axe. He's not going to use the bow. He will use the axe, which means we will take counter damage when we fight him on enemy phase. The only way we can force him to use the bow is by standing at 2 range, but the only characters who can stand at 2 range get one shot by the bow because of effective damage. All right, let's try Celica's Gale. We need the silver bow again. Nice. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see that. Okay, I'm starting to feel pretty good about this. I think we've more or less won. Oh, thank you, Timothy. What is my favorite team? Do you mean like a full team of characters in this game, or do you mean like my favorite baseball team? Mila looks after her children. Her branches are S tier. Yeah, this is when I discovered this. This made me realize, you know what? I think that the game was balanced around Lunatic mode, and then they started removing enemies for hard mode, and then they removed more enemies for normal mode. There's all sorts of little things like throughout the entire game. Like you see this tree branch over here. Like you would never think to use this tree branch, but it was obviously included for a reason, and it's for the they had to know that you could do this. Like they had to know you could do this. And the only reason you would need to do this is if you're playing on Lunatic. So, I don't know, man. I really think that the game is balanced around Lunatic mode. Alright, before we do anything else, let's stop and just get our bearings. We might be able to set up some kind of like enemy... Whoa! Interesting. I got them to move by standing there. I didn't even do that intentionally. But, I mean, that's great. Oh, by the way, I'm going to turn off movement again. Yeah, it speeds up gameplay a lot. Alright, this is good because it actually moved the enemies more into our range so we can get a better idea of what we're trying to do. Okay, so if we can cross the water and kill all 3 of these enemies, our units will actually be completely safe. And then that will inform us of which enemies are going to start moving on enemy phase. So it might be worth doing. Yeah, that was really scary. When they started moving, I thought that I left Noe in their range. But then I realized they just started moving because now she can get... Now they can reach her. They couldn't reach her on this turn, but now they can reach her, so that's why they started moving again. There are a few maps where you 100% agree. Water walking, trees, Lunatic Plus is tedious, but it's very doable. It's not even really that tedious on most maps, actually. I've discovered a lot of like strategies that allow you to play the game fairly normally. This is like one of the cheesiest low man strategies that I use in my entire run. And even this, we're using a full team of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're using 8 characters. Like this is not low man. Like 8 characters is not low man. All right. Let's chip him with the longbow before we do anything else because we can. Like if we can, we should. I think. We don't need to kill him with the longbow, but we can chip him. It's going to take a turn or 2 to set this up. Okay, what weapons do I actually want Sumia to have? Celica's Gale. The Unforged Beast Killer. I want her to have a lance that she can spam without wasting weapon charges. But she also needs a javelin. And then I guess the Forged Silver Lance for like anything else. This does mean she doesn't really have any great like magic options other than using Celica's Gale. But I guess we can access the convoy if we want to get anything else out. Yeah, chip him down. That way when we fly over, our margin to kill him is a lot more forgiving. Now unfortunately, Robin and Saria cannot fly over the water, so we need someone else to fly them over. this is the one reason why maybe switching Frederick to a Wyvern would be good, but I'm not wasting a second seal just to have Frederick fly over like one gap. What I think would be smarter would be to use either Noe or Cordelia to transport Robin. So let's do this. Let's keep these two together. In fact, you know what? Let's just do this. Yeah. I'm fine with that. Okay, so now all we need to do is fly over and kill 2 enemies. And then we can use Robin to fly you over. Or sorry, you to fly Robin over. And then these two can just go over like on the next turn, or we know whenever they can. Whenever they're available. Okay. First, I want to see what this matchup looks like. Not amazing, not terrible. I can deal 32 damage. Plus like 16. That's 48. One dual strike is not going to get the kill here. Okay, what if I have them fight this guy instead then? But then if I do that, I have to do something like this. We already determined that the Silver Lance wasn't enough to guarantee the kill, but what if we have... The problem is if we have Crom do it, then we're not going to have Sumia in the lead anymore, and not having Sumia in the lead is kind of a big problem. Okay, what about you? Killer Axe does not do it. Man, this guy is tanky. This guy is an absolute tank. I honestly can't believe how tanky this enemy is. Like, this is kind of nuts, isn't it? Like, none of my best characters can kill this enemy. So we're gonna have to use 2 characters to do it. If that's the case... Let's see about how we can kill this guy and trigger Gale Force. Steel Bow does 24. $22 actually. I forgot to subtract out the 2 damage. Not a huge deal. Alright. We can use... This works to our advantage. The fact that she does not double him actually works to our advantage because it allows her to attack him and damage him without killing herself with counter damage. That was a good pickup. Let's start training our Iron Bow rank. Unfortunately, my other Iron Bow is with Olivia. I gave it to Olivia because I wanted her to pass it to Lanku later, but then I ended up not fielding Olivia. Foolish idea. Alright, that's fine. That's, in fact, better than fine. That's perfect. Now we can have... I guess... you... I mean, honestly, like, training her anymore is not a huge deal. Like, there's not any reason why she needs to level up any more than she already has. In that sense, this might be better. God, this guy's so tanky. Unbelievably tanky. Alright, let's just do this so we're at full health. Mike says, ideally, most games should be designed around its hardest difficulty. It's easier to remove complexity than adding complexity for other difficulty modes. I totally agree with that. One of the things I've noticed when working on game design is that a lot of times when you develop a game, things start to feel very easy for you because you created the game and you know everything about how the game works. And then once you like hand it over to players, they might have a much harder time figuring out things which seem simple to you. So you really have to think about how to view things like from a player point of view. And one of those things, like one of those ideas, is the idea of like a normal mode or an easy mode or a hard mode. A lot of times devs make games harder than they should be. So typically, like, whatever you think is like normal difficulty is probably hard mode for other people, and then you could try to make the game like a little bit easier, and then you say that the easy mode is like normal mode. That makes people feel better. World's tankiest archer. You know, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, depending on if you're using an archer, but archer is actually a very tanky class, which you can definitely use we can use to our advantage with like Crom, Virion, and so forth. But when enemy archers are that tanky, they can be very difficult to get rid of. Finally, 2 enemies that we can actually enemy phase. Love to see that. Because we don't really have a lot of rescue available, because we didn't field any staff users, I'm gonna try... Nice. I'm gonna try to mostly rely on Gale Force instead. Alright. Now the question is whether Robin can enemy phase... Or, in fact, I'd like it if Noe can enemy phase both of them, but I really doubt it. She has 23 speed. Yeah, she actually gets double by them. What about Lonku? What do they have? A sword and an axe? I feel like Lonku with the superior edge goes so hard, but unfortunately they spawned with Hawkeye, so that's not true. Okay, so let's calculate their damage. They have 45 plus 47 damage. 92 damage total. Robin is going to take 92 minus 29 minus 29, which is 34 damage. Robin can actually just survive this, even if we don't ever proc any defensive skills. So let's do this. Unfortunately, I wish she had a better lance. I can actually give her one. I can do this. Yes, this works. Okay. So you are going to go into the convoy. You're going to put away this. This. You're going to take out a steel lance and a concoction. You're going to equip your steel lance. Robin is going to go into the lead. They're going to equip a steel sword. They are going to trade with you. I don't know why I gave Robin the hammer, by the way. I think it was because of the prep that I was doing for the Cynthia chapter. And then I just forgot to put the hammer away. Steel lance, steel sword, that should be fine. Is there anything that Noe can fight this turn? Or Lonku I'd be fine with as well. This guy unfortunately has a killer axe and he can crit. Don't love either of those things being true. Fortunately, these two are stuck over here until we can get other flyers in the lead. Also, because Robin's in the lead right now, we cannot run away. I just realized we can't run away. We're kind of all in now. If that's true... Oh, here we go. This guy doesn't have counter. He hits for 53 damage. Oh, hold on, what's his speed? He only has 20 speed. He's not even that fast. Okay, so he hits for 53 damage. 53 minus 19 is 34. No, he actually survives. So we can have her stand just in range of this enemy and kill him on enemy phase. If we can kill him. Even if we can't, though, he doesn't double us, so it doesn't really matter. Let's see if we can kill him. 43 minus 17 is 26 damage. We actually kill him. He doesn't kill us, and we do kill him. So Noe is already starting to kind of pop off. Because we kill him no matter what, let's just use this. Alright, this should be fine unless I overlooked something. I can even use, I'm going to use a concoction just in case. The only thing I think I could possibly overlook here is if, like, maybe he doubles us. But it doesn't seem possible. We're so much faster than him. Yeah, we one-shot him. So even if he had counter, we could have one-shot him there. And that gets her up to C rank too. It's going to be so much easier to train her axe rank now that she can fight enemies. No, unfortunately, I think this guy just body blocked the other hero. I hate when they do that. I hate when they do that. Sometimes they move into the tile and they body block so that you can't enemy phase the two enemies that you wanted to fight. Alright, this is fine. I really like it if Saria could get some combat. I just don't see how. Wow, these guys are pretty bulky. Alright, I have some ideas. They're not necessarily good ideas, but I do have ideas. Okay, we guaranteed kill this guy. Robin chips this guy or kills this guy. I'm gonna use Killer Axe here. Kills this guy. Then we get this guy. 16. Steel bow's fine. I'm gonna get another bow from the convoy while I'm here. Just in case I run out of charges on a turn where I can't restock. Okay. And then Gale Force triggers, so we can potentially set her up to enemy phase somebody. So that we're not getting overrun by enemies. Okay. This guy is we're gonna have to get rid of him with Gale Force, so let's try to stay on the right-hand side if we can. This guy unfortunately has counter. I don't think there's anything we can fight this turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly over here, because this might pull some guys to the right. Let's see what they do. Didn't really work as well as I would have liked. I can potentially leapfrog off this enemy. I should have a guaranteed kill on him. Not guaranteed, but pretty likely. Okay. Now we can use that momentum to run over here. Is it worth it to use the Celica's Gale here, or do we save it? I think we save that for better situations. I'm just going to use a Katarina's Bolt, though. High crit chance. High damage. Perfect. I didn't need to kill him, but I needed to injure him. Alright. The enemies all have overlapping ranges and counter, so we can't stay in range of any enemies this turn. What I'd like to do is actually get Cordelia back in front, and I can do that by going like this. I put my heal stabs all the way in the convoy. That was a boneheaded move. Why did I do that? It's okay. I can separate these two. And try again. Alright, now we got 3 enemies. We know that Noe can kill these guys guaranteed. That's an important piece of information, I think. Can someone remind me if odd or even levels are better to use second seals? I always forget. It's let's see. Second seals are -1 and then cut in half, and then it truncates. So if I'm on 18, it goes to 17, and then it cuts in half, and then it truncates down to 8. So odd levels are better. So I probably want to second seal Robin when they hit level 19. I'm gonna switch them over to Sorcerer finally. We've been putting it off for a while, but they have enough speed now where I think I can send them over to Sorcerer and they'll be fine. Maybe, I don't know, it might be a good idea to let them get a little bit more speed. Tricky. It's a tough call. Hey Nova, thanks for stopping by. You watched the Lonku video and you loved it. Yeah, it's real. Sorry, you love Lonku. Yeah, he's really good. Isn't Viran one of the worst units in the game? He's not great. He's not great. Yeah. It's hard for me to define one of the worst, but he's definitely like in the bottom half, for sure. Oh no, yeah, you're right. I'm so stupid. I calculated that with an even number and saw that it was better, and then I said that it was odd. But yeah, even is actually better. So what we could do, we could second seal now, or we could second seal on level 20. But yeah, Viren is useful. He's very useful in the early chapters, and you can build him to be useful in the long term. But it's like very tough to do. Like every time I try to do it, he still ends up being pretty underwhelming. So you have to really find a way to make it work. I'm very interested in him though. I want to find a Virion build that works. I just haven't really found it yet in like a practical context. But I think it exists. I think it is possible to make him good, but I think he is in the the bottom half of characters for like goodness and usability. All right. I know how to pick this apart, but we're relying on Sumia a lot here. I don't know what bow I have equipped. I think I might have just wasted a silver bow charge. Ooh, a killer axe. If I stand here, I actually technically body block this guy. I wasted a longbow charge, even worse. Alright, I'm gonna go for killer bow crits here. Javelin crits work too. Once again, I didn't really want Sumia to kill him or need Sumia to kill him, but if she did, it's like fine anyway. So next I'm gonna go here. In fact, I'm actually gonna stand here for a reason that will become clear very soon. What does Longku have equipped? Bronze bow, that's fine. Get Noe another level. Awesome. We're gonna get quick burn very soon. Alright, so now I'm gonna go into the convoy. I'm gonna grab that mend staff. In fact, let me use the heal staff. Start healing you. And I feel pretty good. Feel pretty good about this. We're gonna fly these two over, and then we're gonna possibly get Saria some experience against this last group of enemies. Who's the best recipient for this shiny spot, I wonder? Not you. Possibly you. Definitely not you. You're already, like, way past where you need to be. I don't think Cordelia... Getting her to level 15 is nice, but it's not mandatory. We're probably going to bench her before she ever gets Lance Fair, honestly. Noe, maybe. She's still getting good experience because her internal level is still low. Frederick doesn't need any more experience. Saria is another maybe. Feels like we don't really have any good shiny spot recipients. Alright, so that was Tree Branch Cheese. We've successfully pulled it off. It takes a while. It's not like you don't just like guarantee winning just because you Tree Branch like cheesed. Like you still have to think about what you're doing. You still have to be extremely careful. You still have to meet like stat benchmarks to make sure that you can defeat these enemies without without having to rely on dual strikes and crits, because otherwise, you know, at some point during the last hour, we would have missed like one dual strike or one crit, and then we would have lost 2 hours of progress. Like, you know, you can't just do it and it just automatically works. It doesn't solve the map for you, but it does like allow you to like play the map without worrying about ambush spawns. Superior Lance, that's actually quite useful for where we are in the game. Alright, so we've got one last group of enemies to take out. Unfortunately, we don't have like a good rescue staff user, and we don't have Olivia. So we gotta be very careful about how we pick apart this last group of enemies. Because we don't have very good hit and run tactics available. All we have is Cordelia's rescue staff, which is not like amazing. What we could do is set up an enemy phase sweep, depending on what skills they have. You have to be in range of at least 2 of them. They won't move until you're in range of at least 2 of them. But when we do that, what we could do is have an anchor unit standing further back in range of just 1 enemy. So we can possibly use that to our advantage. Okay, this guy's counter, but he has a tomahawk. So we don't really have to worry about him. This guy has a silver axe, but he's just a level 20 fighter, so we don't really have to worry about him. Let me see what Saria's combat looks like against these guys, because I would love for her to fight them if she could. Make it like this. We're going to have Robin with us. We're going to be using a steel axe. She's going to have 30 speed. She fights them just fine with no issues. Okay. With Nosferatu, this guy's going to hit me for 17 damage. And then I'm maybe going to heal for 23 if I can hit him. I'm not really guaranteed to hit. This guy's going to hit me for 15 damage. And then I'm pretty much going to heal back up to full. 17 plus 15 doesn't kill me anyway. Yeah, so we can just leave her in range of both of these enemies. With Nosferatu equipped. Or even without Nosferatu equipped, in fact. Let's just use Ruin. Yeah, this is a good time to use Ruin. Ruin is awesome because, check this out, we have a 73% crit rate. Oh, good times. It's just really funny. Even if we don't crit this guy, we kill him anyway. But if we crit this guy with Ruin, we actually won't kill him. This actually might not be a good time for Ruin then. Probably better just to use El Thunder. Alright, we're going to go El Thunder. We're going to be standing here. But while we do that, I'm going to see what the left-hand side looks like because we might be able to enemy phase something on the left side. We got to be careful about him. He has a bow. We can use that to our advantage though. We can draw him into a range where he's forced to use his bow and then he won't have his axe equipped anymore. This guy spawning with counter is tricky. This guy spawning with counter is also very tricky. So we're probably going to have Sumia fly in and remove him with Gale Force. And then Saria is going to stand in range of these two enemies on the same turn. We could theoretically stand in range of these three enemies with Nosferatu equipped if we stand at the exact edge of his range. Because he'll be forced to use his bow. Which means, I don't know, it doesn't really mean anything because he doesn't have counter anyway. Hey Miracle Dang, thanks for stopping by. You enjoyed this map more than you expected on your last playthrough. The mad rush to clear out space, sniping thieves, and setting up the boss kill before the Falcons arrive is really fun. Yeah, I was going to do it that way, but the reason I wanted to record the tree branch footage is because I want to show it in my guide. So I want to make sure I have stream footage of the tree branch cheese. I'm thinking of resetting and doing the boss kill, depending on how much time we have today. It could be worth doing, but unfortunately, I don't know how long that's going to take. If that ends up taking like 3 hours, then this is going to be like a 6-hour stream. I don't know if I want to stream for 6 hours today. So this asks, how is Awakening? It's really fun. It's my favorite Fire Emblem game. One of my favorite games like ever. Viron exists to chip and then be benched, at least on Lunatic Plus. His support with Frederick can extend his use, but you've never found a use for him beyond the early game. That's what Garrett says. Yeah, I feel that's pretty true. He can be used as a good father as well. He's very much a character you make use of him while you have him, and then you can bench him and feel totally fine about it. Like benching characters doesn't mean that they're bad. It just means that like they're going to get replaced with better characters later or more useful long-term characters later. Yeah, this last group of characters can be very scary. 73 crit is very crazy. We can definitely get it even higher, just not yet. We're not there yet. All right, so we're either going to stand at the edge of his range and use Nosferatu. Let's see what their damage is. 20. We have 30. We can double him. So 53 plus 42 plus... Oh, we have to be careful because we're not going to be dealing very much damage to him. He's going to have Aegis. Yeah, let's not enemy face him. I don't feel comfortable doing that. All right, let's have Sumia go first. This should be near guaranteed. Unless we miss 2 dual strikes with like a very high chance to succeed. Alright. This is going to allow us to put Saria up here. Well, you know what? I want to stand at the edge of his range just to make sure that he uses the Tomahawk. Yeah. Stand here. Thunder's fine. We'll put some melee units around her so she gets some support. And then we got to think about what we're going to do about this guy. If Crom can kill him with a bow this turn, Not even close. Not even anywhere near being true. Alright, so let's just do this and unpair. And get these other characters ready to do stuff, if possible. We'll also rally speed, might as well. Alright, so Nosferatu, not needed so far. I think with rally speed, we might actually double this guy. I wasn't even thinking about that. But we might actually double him now. I did not factor in Luna, by the way. I don't know if that could have been lethal, but I was not even thinking about Luna. Because we have because we have Vengeance active right now, I think we should go for a kill on one of these guys. Probably him. We can rally speed again, too. That's going to allow us to double him. Yeah, I need to start making better use of rally speed. Gotta be careful. I need to make sure I'm out of range of this guy, because I don't know how far... I don't know if I'm going to be able to kill him this turn. Well, you know what? If I'm rallying speed, it's going to be so that I can kill him. So let's do this. Now, this should give me 2 chances to proc Vengeance, or get dual strikes, or just hit him twice with Nosferatu for high damage. Vengeance Nosferatu combination is really good, as you're seeing right now. This is good. I just got some good Vengeance Nosferatu footage. Alright, now we can potentially set up a kill for Noe here. She can deal 27 damage, and he never kills her. So if I can get him down to 27 HP... Oh, crap. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Why? Ah, I just double pressed. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, that's bad. We have no actions available to bail us out here. Lonk, you gotta just, like, go insane here. Do we have the Killing Edge? We have the Killing Edge. Got it. There was no better time for this to happen, considering I just made a video yesterday about why, like, Lonku is just goated. Oh my god. Thank you so much, Lonku. Oh, that was bad. That was really bad. I double pressed. I can't remember what I was trying to do. I was trying to put Sumia in the lead and then equip her with the Steel Lance, and instead I hit rally move, and that caused Sumia to just completely waste her action. The only bailout option I had there was for Lonku to land a crit, and the absolute demon just did it. God, I love Lonku. He's so awesome. Lonku bailout. 6 hours. Yeah, we're not doing 6 hours. You beat Conquest for the first time. That's awesome. I've only beat it once before on Lunatic mode. And the funny thing is I never even beat it on any lower difficulties. Typically, if I start playing Fire Emblem like on a lower difficulty, I usually like get bored and stop partway through because it's just so boring to me. And then I restart again on higher difficulty. But then because of that, it's like I know the game really well, so I end up being able to beat like the higher difficulty on my first higher difficulty attempt. All right, we're gonna get this shiny spot here. Actually, I think Noe's the better recipient because she can get weapon ranks. Yeah. She can get weapon ranks or experience, and either one is good for her. And I think she just did. Yes. Some delicious lance rank. Doesn't help us a lot right now, but will help us in the future. So this boss is not very dangerous at all. He only has defensive skills, so it's basically the same as the Lunatic boss, but we can fight him for more turns, which means we can get more experience from him. This essentially just means we just... Lunatic Plus just generated a boss for us who we can effectively grind. Let me get a nice bow out of Convoy that's not going to be like wasting up charges. Because I'm wasting a lot of charges here. Do I have a nice bow? A nice D rank bow. I don't think I have one. Nope, the only one I have is this. So unfortunately, I made the stupid move of giving my iron bow to Olivia to give to Crom. Sorry, to give to Lonku, but because I did that, Lonku can't get it from the convoy now. Alright, so we got our Severa recruitment set up. We don't really need to train either of these two right now. The only reason to do that would be to get Lancefer on Cordelia to make her stronger for like a couple of chapters before we bench her. I think probably we just train Saria here. Either that or Noe, if she's capable of fighting. In fact, she's probably capable of using the hammer. Let me pair up Lonku with her. Nope, I gotta go into the convoy again. Sorry, guys. I'm being a bonehead. Iron sword, I guess. Steel sword, and then... I just don't want to waste charges on these bows. I'm sandbagging a little bit, it's fine. I can train my bow rank, I guess. He doesn't kill me. I hit him for, like, chip damage, which is going to allow me to train my axe rank. I wonder if I should train my lance rank, or if I even can train my lance rank. The problem is I think Lucina has my bronze lance. Do I have any other E rank lances? I have a log. I can use a log. Log moment. Sure, why not? Alright. Can I log him? Oh, I can log him! I can actually log him for damage! Oh, that's too great. Alright, we're just gonna log this guy a couple times, get some free experience, some free weapon experience onto Noe. And that also lets Lonku train his bow rank. Log moment. Ooh, we're not dealing bow damage. Okay, hold on. Yes, it's because once Noe switches into the lead, or sorry, once Noe switches into the lead, we're not getting weapon rank bonuses anymore. So we should actually use the Armor Slayer here, because it's not going to deal anywhere near as much damage as we think it is. Saria, go over here. Pair up with her. We need to heal her back up now. You like Revelation the most? Really? That's not a super common opinion. I'm not a Revelation hater or anything, it's just interesting that Revelation would be your favorite. Alright, I'm actually going to use the Armor Slayer here, just so that I can deal damage, because if I don't deal damage, Lonku doesn't get any experience. And it's very crucial that Lonku gets experience, because we need him to get lethality. Ooh, he's getting close too. Unfortunately, we're running out of heal staff charges as well, and we didn't... Most of our staves are in the hands of our other characters, instead of being in the convoy. If we knew this attempt was going to go this far, I would have like set up Cordelia's inventory, but I actually didn't think this attempt was actually going to succeed. Log versus Mustache. Hey, Alien Clips. Thanks for stopping by. You finally caught me live for the first time. Thanks for being here. How are you doing today? Alpha C says, how's it going? Pretty good. We're just logging this guy. We're just hitting him with a log a couple times. Kind of log gaming over here. Training our Noe with a log. They said that the log wasn't useful. They didn't know that this is what the log is actually good for. This right here. Some free experience farming. I'd actually like for Lonku to get this kill if possible. We only need to lower his health a little bit more. I don't know, maybe it's better for Saria to get it. I'm really enjoying training my lance rank though. He hits me for how much? 35? Ooh, unfortunately I can't take another hit. I have to waste a men staff here, because I don't have any heal staves available. Yeah, this log is awesome right now. The cool thing is, like, log is not really very valuable either. So we're not really wasting any weapon charges. Oh, I'm surprised I didn't double this guy. Oh, I should be using rally speed before on the turns when I go into fight. Wait, does he have something that prevents doubling? No, he doesn't. Why am I not doubling him? I'm just slow, I guess. Mission failed successfully. Yeah, we got like way further than I thought we were going to. It just ended up not being a good thing. So a couple things. Actually, standing here is going to make it so that he's in range of Anathema, which is going to increase my crit rate. Standing here causes my Charm aura to apply to Noe, which doesn't really do anything, but whatever. Standing here is going to give her Solidarity. And I don't think he'll attack Robin. He should always attack Noe anyway. Blunku? Come on, man. We're trying to get you both some bow rank here. Oh, and actually we're not, because the bow's not dealing any damage. Alien Clip says, they've been getting back into Fire Emblem Awakening. You found my videos, and they're very helpful for learning Lunatic mode. Yeah, a lot of the knowledge that in my guides is, like, you know, based on things that I learned playing Lunatic Plus, but most of it can be transferred down. Like, you can use this information to play on Lunatic. It works really well. I was trying to show that off with my No Frederick run, but unfortunately the No Frederick challenge is so difficult that I wasn't really able to show off like how good I am at the game because I still like looked bad. It still looked like I wasn't that great at the game, just because playing without Frederick is really hard. But I want to do like a more optimized playthrough in the future, maybe where I just like show off like how like a super optimized Lunatic type run could look. All right. We're probably not getting any more out of this other than like setting up the kill shot, so let's set up the kill shot. I think I'm going to give it to Saria. I can do this, I can rally speed, equip my steel axe, go here, and if I can deal 24 damage, I can just kill him outright. Should we just use Ruin here? It would be funny. Yeah, let's use Ruin with our 62% hit rate, crit rate, sorry. Ooh, and Vengeance. Oh, we missed. Nice. 54 damage against an enemy with Aegis Plus. Not quite level 10, that's fine. That actually means we can get some rollover experience on the next map for killing an enemy. Yeah, no Fred is... it was a little bit frustrating on those first few chapters, I'll totally admit that. It was not as fun as I thought it was going to be. But once we got past the early chapters, now the rest of the game is like almost the same as a normal playthrough too, so it's like... Yeah, it's like kind of tough. I'm definitely going to finish that run. I'm so into Lunatic Plus right now. It's like I just want to keep playing Lunatic Plus. Like every week. Every week I come up with an idea for a stream and then I'm like, you know what? Or I could just play more Lunatic Plus. So now we can buy more, we can buy Infinite Second Seals, which is a huge deal. We can buy Infinite Master Seals. Essentially, we have like getting Infinite Master Seals is kind of like opens the game up for you. But getting Infinite Second Seals, like really like, now like everything is open to us. Like there is no strategy that we're incapable of doing anymore. All right, let's check what we got in the barracks. You know you're a good player when you can make Noe double a boss. we could have given her the boss kill with the hammer, like pretty easily. Yeah, unfortunately we didn't get anything from the barracks. We didn't build any support ranks, but it was because we were using characters who already have all S supports with each other. Now that Frederick is level 15, we can pass down Dual Guard Plus and Speed Plus 2 to our Severa. Let's go look at what that looks like first before we do anything else. So here's Mercenary Fortress. Let me save the game. I save the game habitually, just it like makes me so nervous. Noe isn't that slow. She's not fast, I would say. She's in the same range as like she's faster than Frederick for sure, but Frederick's a slow character. I'd say she's like right around average. She's like way faster than the likes of Henry. She's like close to like Lisa. Keep in mind these two are about the same level because Noe's had an extra 10 levels worth of stats. So she's about the same speed as Lisa. But no, she's actually slower. Yeah, she's actually slower than average. She's slower than Cordelia. She's slower than Lucina. She's actually slower than Libra. So yeah, she's actually not that fast. Imagine constantly being a lunatic and even being plussed. I don't know what that means. Alright, so we probably need to get Severa before we can get Cynthia, I think. Let's look at her now, though. So this is with our skill inheritance that we got. She starts with 19 speed, including the speed +2, which you can... Oops. You can actually use speed +2 to break the speed cap, which is also important. So it helps in the short term and it helps in the long term. She's got patience because she starts as a mercenary. She's got arms thrift because she starts as a mercenary. She's got speed +2. She's got dual guard plus, which is going to help her in the long term with her tanking role. And then we're also going to give her, we're going to promote her directly into hero so that she gets soul. She's got pretty good stats, strength, skill, speed, defense. They all look good for an unpromoted mercenary. Once we promote her to hero, she's going to look even better. She is going to need a little bit of training to be strong, but I think we can make her work. Cynthia's build is also complete, but we have no chance of recruiting Cynthia anytime soon. I'll show you how disgusting this map looks. I tried to play this map off stream like 3 times, and every single time I just got completely overwhelmed. It's just like, this map is a nightmare. But we can look at our Cynthia build. So she always inherits Aether from Chrom, unfortunately. You can't change that. But Aether's pretty good on a Gale Force attacker anyway. It's not the best, but it's pretty good. And then Gale Force, we're giving her from her mother, Sumia. She starts with really good skill and speed. And because she starts in Pegasus, we don't have to pass down speed +2. She just starts with it. And because she already has Gale Force, we never have to send her into Dark Flyer. We can immediately promote her into Falcon as soon as we recruit her, and that will massively improve her combat. She's going to be very good, very fast. The issue is we just can't fight these enemies. Like, they're just unbelievable. They're, like, if you think about the strongest enemies that we just fought on the Mila tree, like, every enemy on this map is as strong as the strongest enemy in that map. But there's like 30 of them, like all that strong. Like, we just can't fight all these enemies, especially because on Mila tree, we could use the tree branch to our advantage. Here we have nothing. We're just in a wide open field getting swarmed by enemies on all sides. So that's not going to work. You think Severa is really cute. One good use of Zevirion is you can use him to actually give Severa green hair, which is pretty interesting. Okay, so for Morgan, we would want to pass down... What would we want to pass down to Morgan? Arms Thrift, maybe? Alright, I think Arms Thrift makes the most sense. Either Arms Thrift or Axebreaker. Axebreaker will improve her combat. Arms Thrift will improve her... utility, maybe? Oh, we could also pass down Soul, because she's never gonna go through Hero on her own. So Soul, Axebreaker, and Arms Thrift are all good choices for Morgan. Soul will make her really tanky. Axebreaker will make it so that she has an extremely good matchup against the most dangerous enemies, and then Arms Thrift will make it so that we're not wasting as much money on Nosferatu charges. I think all of them have I think all of these have merit. I might make a poll about this in the next stream. And then I was thinking, I don't know if we actually have any skill that we can pass down from Saria, because she's going to be starting in Dark Mage anyway. I mean, I guess just pass down Vengeance so that she has it right away, so she can get it without needing to level up. Let's look at what Morgan looks like. So the thing about Morgan is that they always start in the class of their optional parent. So in this case, we're using Saria so that she starts as a Dark Mage, which is really useful. Starting in Dark Mage is great. You love starting in Dark Mage. You love to start in Dark Mage when you can. It's one of the few ways to do it. The other way is with Henry as a father. There are no children who start in Dark Mage. The only way to do it is by having Morgan do it. Next we have Na, who I don't think we're using, or are we using her? No, we're not using Na. We're using Severa. But if we were going to use Na, we would probably want to pass down... Probably just move +1, honestly. And then if we can get Swordbreaker, I would definitely pass down Swordbreaker to her. If we recruit her, it's going to be much later. We're probably just going to do this map at some point in the future for experience. We're not going to actually do this for doing it. But if we had to do it right now, I would pass down move +1 and... I guess strength +2. No. Yeah, I would guess strength +2, but honestly, there's not any good choices. There's not any good skills to pass down right now. The best thing to do would be to wait and pass down either Quick Burn or Swordbreaker. Oh, sorry, this is the wrong map. Let me go back to the map. Just trying to go here. Is cash going to be a problem? Not really. We just got a bunch of bullions. Your Severa and Morgan both inherited Vengeance and Wrath this run. That's awesome. So this is what our Na would look like. With the Dragonstone bonuses, decent stats. Her speed is like really bad. Like I talked about this in the Lonku video, which we just published yesterday. But like even with like a Lonku parentage to fix her speed, like her speed is still not good. It turns her like atrocious speed into like average speed, and then it would be better to just like have Lonku be a father for somebody who he can give them great speed. But we're doing this for fun anyway. We're not doing this for like optimization reasons, especially because I'm not planning on using Na, so it doesn't really matter like how she turns out. But either way, this is what she would look like. Pretty crappy skills, unfortunately. You really want to pass down Swordbreaker to her if you can. Okay, so next is Noaru, who we are going to want to recruit, and in her case, we definitely want her to have Anathema and I'm less sure about what to give from Robin. Because Soul doesn't matter. She's not going to be fighting in the lead position. Arms Thrift, I guess, is probably the best thing I can get from Robin, because it's going to allow me to equip her with like forged silver bows, and they're never going to break. It's either that or Solidarity to boost Severa's crit rate. Yeah, I think actually Solidarity might be best. Solidarity and Anathema. We could actually get her build online right now. Let's see if there's like any possible way we could beat this map. Hey Carlos Rosso. Arms Thrift is only a solution to economy. Soul competes with Vengeance. Yeah, because there's a priority order to skills triggering. I don't like having builds with Soul and Vengeance, or really Soul and any offensive skill. Typically, you want to go all in on offense or all in on defense. If you have Soul and Astra or Soul and Lethality, there's just like there's no guarantee that you're going to get the outcome that you want. You're just going to get like the outcome that you don't want half the time. All right, so this build would be pretty good, and you can pass down Solidarity. This is going to allow us to give +10 crit, +10 dodge, and then an additional +10 hit and +10 crit to Severa while she's soul tanking, which is going to improve her soul tanking massively. The other idea would be to make Noaru into a Nosferatu tank with support from Severa, but I think this is better. I think this configuration is better, and we can also view their support conversations, which I've never seen before. So we will read those over the course of the game. Plus, having an archer support is really good. We could even possibly make her into a bow knight, so we could get extra speed and extra movement. We won't get Bowfair anytime soon, but maybe that's fine. Maybe the extra speed and movement is better. I think we should probably see what Severa's speed looks like first, because as a hero, she's probably going to have good speed already. She's going to be getting +2 from Noaru. If we go to Bow Knight, she's going to get significantly more. I don't know exactly how much off the top of my head. I'm not motivated to check right now. The problem is these enemies in this map are level 7 promoted. It's going to be a while before we can effectively fight these enemies, especially because this is just a tough map anyway. So I don't think we can recruit her right away. So here's the plan. I'm going to see if I can possibly recruit Severa on the next stream. If not, we'll have to do one more story map before Severa. Let's see what the next story map actually is. It's Fort Steger. How do I feel about veteran inheritance? Not a bad idea, actually. I didn't think about that. Okay, this map is pretty doable. The enemies are only level 3 promoted, so they're a lot more manageable in terms of stats. The big thing is trying to catch these thieves before they escape. they have to go all the way up here into this corner, into the treasure room, and then all the way back out, so you have plenty of time to catch them, but it does mean you have to get into this treasure room before a certain turn. I forget what turn it is, but either way. The door also slows them down, and then they have to get all the way back here to escape. I think they escape through the stairs, but they might escape through here. Either way, if you get up here in time, you can just block them from escaping as well. You can block thieves from escaping in this game. It forces them to attack you instead, which is fine. The other thing is you want... if you don't want to fight the reinforcements, you have to kind of secure the center of the map and then get characters standing on all of these staircases before the enemies start spawning. Otherwise, the next best strategy is to focus on going up here, clearing out the treasure room and getting the thieves, and then you can block these two staircases so that the enemies don't spawn from here, and that allows you to use this gap right here as a choke point. You can fight all of the reinforcements while they're spawning in, and just kind of like use this room over here as your home base. It actually works pretty well. It works pretty effectively. You can high man this map just by securing the top left corner and then using this area. The one thing I don't like is that Pharos uses Fortify while you're fighting the enemies, which is really unfortunate because when you kill her, she drops Fortify. So it creates this unfortunate situation where anytime you leave enemies alive on low health, she uses Fortify Stab charges, and then you lose those charges because when you pick it up from her later, when you kill her later, you'll only have 4 charges left, or 3 charges, or 2 charges, or 1 charge, or she can even break the Fortify Staff and then you don't get it, which is really sad because you want to get the Fortify Staff if you can. If you're never gonna use the Fortify Staff, you can just sell it. Like, you want this staff. You badly want this staff. Yeah, Solidarity and Anathema is really good for your backpack unit. And using Nosferatu on her is going to waste her strength. Yeah, her strength. Yeah, one of the advantages of Noaru is not just that she starts in Archer, but her mother has a mixed class set. So if you give her a physical father like Lonku or Robin, like Hero Robin or Frederick or something like that, you would give her Frederick because her speed would be atrocious. But either way, if you give her like a physical father, she can actually do physical classes very well because she has access to a lot of physical classes in her natural class set. Either way, I'm going to head out now. Thanks to everybody who stopped by. Thanks to all the regulars who stopped by. Thanks to the first timers. Thanks for the likes. They really help. Thanks for chatting in chat. I'm sure that helps too. I think YouTube, if they see people are chatting, it maybe recommends the stream to other people. I know that when you like the stream, it causes YouTube to recommend it to other people. Probably too many people here for me today to go through and give everybody a shout out, but thanks to everybody who chatted. I'm glad that I got to show off the tree branch cheese strategy, and it seems like people actually wanted to see it, which made it even better. I think I'm going to go take a long nap because I have plans for tonight. But for now, enjoy the rest of your day.